All right, good evening. It's Wednesday night. That means we've got Armel action ready for your viewing pleasure. Nathaniel here with Isabella. How's it going, Isabella?
Good. How are you? How is everyone here tonight?
I am super excited for the games tonight. It's been uh, very busy lately in the Armel scene. We've got, I believe, like 4 hours of games scheduled tonight, so it's going to be really, really fun. Really long, but it's going to be really enjoyable to watch.
Definitely. And there's also many interesting games tomorrow and Friday as well. So Armel is definitely hitting that mid-season ramp up where everyone's just getting games in all the time and there's no slowdown for action.
Absolutely. Well, this game is going to feature Division B1 with Senhao, Bianca, Nathan, and Kevin. Currently, our dealer, Nathan, is sitting in 10th place overall, right in the middle of the pack. Has had some really big seasons, made it all the way up to A2 last season before tipping back down
Each.
to B1. We'll have to defend against this Ricci from the Dutchman early, Kevin. Ricci, potential Ipeko waiting on 6-9 so.
Nathan, some pretty good fills already quite early on. That three pin filling that 2-4 conchan, as well as getting that extra shape, getting the 6-8. But we'll see what he can do, or if he decides to let this dealership slide and see what happens in the next one.
Yeah, showing a little bit of caution on this East, actually willing to cut the 7 first. I'm not sure they're necessarily going to give up completely. I think they tend to be somewhat aggressive in maintaining dealership. So we'll see if they do choose to take a fight. Bianca on the right, 8th place overall, plus 21.2. Also looking to make it up to the top 5, where Senhao, the player across the table, currently he sits just outside that range, 13 points away from Kayla in the 5th place overall. So this is should be a really competitive series. They played 2 games already, so they're just finishing up this session in round 3.
Both Senhao, Bianca, and even Nathan, if he gets a pretty big first in this game, has that chance of making it into that top 5 this session,
Now this is an
which
interesting
would be
choice
pretty
for
exciting.
Senhao now. Tempai, technically, if you want to jam the 3 so, right next to the Ricci
Each.
4.
7 mon, 9 mon, Ricci.
The Ricci Nomi here.
Seven's locked up in dealer's hand, 1-9 in um, Bianca's hand.
Yeah, it's a little tough to defend against 2 Riccis now. Bianca at least has the 3 so if she doesn't want to push. South now safe as well. 6-9 so very live in the wall. 2-9 so and 2-6 so.
相撲
We'll
Ooh,
find
and
it.
he Simos on the Pakame side for the Ipeko.
It's a little sad when
No
you
Ura.
get that triplet of 9 pins. 8 Fu already, and you can't bump it up to 40 Fu, even with its sumo. But you'll absolutely take the win there, especially when you get chased down.
You get that extra 1,000 stick into your hand, which every 1,000 point matters, as we have seen.
Yeah, there have been a number
When
of races that go down to less than 1,000 points.
exactly.
Bianca now.
In fact, I think recently in one tournament, there was the cutoff between cut and not making it, or points and no points for Aura was like 300 points or something like that. So every stick matters here.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and you have to wonder, was there a reach I shouldn't have taken? Was there an opportunity to keep tempi that I could have taken? You have to you replay all those games in your mind and try to find those 300 points back. But you never really expect it to come down to a margin that small, but somehow Malsham always finds a way to get that close.
Super interesting hand developing on Toyman's side. Mochi Mochi on the Haku. And I guess they decided to cut the 8 so instead of extending. Um, oh, there's another 7 mon for Bianca.
Drawing a little bit vertically now. There is one more 1 mon in the wall. If she can pull that in, she'll have Son Uncle, 3 concealed triplets. And I imagine she's really looking to find another pair or something close to the door, including the door itself.
Dora would be very nice, but then leaves her with a awkward 3-5 Kanchan. Oh, Kami also drawing an Anko of 4
That's
mon.
technically Tempai. It would be Shabu
It
5
is
mon
Tempo.
2 pin. Where the 2 pin's dead. Riichi taken.
Takes it. So
Wow.
it's really only 5 mon.
Yeah, just the 5 mon here. Aggressively just trying to slow down the table. I, I'm a little tempted to not accept this Tempai because we have to sacrifice a Dora. I think I'm willing to wait a little bit longer and try to use the Dora, although we do have worry about being Furiten on the 1 so.
There is also an option, I think, where you cut 1 pin actually and wait for an extension for the Dora, or maybe an extension in the 3.
Yeah, and that gives you the ability to call for Tanyao as well. It's a good option too. It's a lot of interesting choices. Pretty classic to slam a Ricci though. Put some pressure. Oh wow. It's in how now.
Somehow gets the Ipeiko on that really weird 1357 Sankan shape.
Draws the 2 mon for the Ipeko. Can actually swap to Chitoi if the 5 mon or 7 mon is drawn. 7 pairs is interesting here.
Ooh, there's Dora.
It is safe, and he'll just wait 1 turn and then slam the Ricci.
Must Ricci on Dora to assert dominance.
That's sort of symmetric dueling sideways 3-sos. 6 mon is twice in the wall. 5 mon, only one of those.
Either could be dead walled. That is the. Oh, there's 1 6 mon.
1 versus 1
So
now.
1 left for each of them. The Haku's come out. Oh, there's the last 5.
Yeah, Bianca's drawing all the winners. Actually, she's found Ishanten. If she can jam the 4 pin, she could call 3 into Tempai. Could even drop the 4 pin now for Tempai. Is it worth it? She does like those odds.
Keep her. Works out very well for Bianca. She gets her 1,000 points from Kevin, and 2 sticks in the middle now, and we go to dealer round 2. Very nice high pie for Bianca. I think, what, 2 Shanten? 3 Shanten?
Yeah, probably
Very
3 here.
easy.
Easily improvable, as you're saying. Lots of middle tiles here to connect better shapes with. 4 mana, great draw. 7 so improves the Sozu block as well.
Somehow maybe looking to go Honitsu with that hand. Lots of really good shapes and lots of Manzu already in hand. 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8.
A really flexible Sozu block as well. You can easily call your way to Tempai, although that 7 pin, that's not what we wanted. In this type of hand, do you like, say you drew 9 mon for Tempai, would you slam the Ricci cutting the 5 mon, or are you greedy enough to go for the Honitsu cutting 7 pin, 7 pin?
I think it depends on where in the game we are. Being East 2, I would probably be a bit greedier. Also depends on if I draw the 9 mon turn 5 or if I draw it middle of row 3.
Yeah, now faced with an interesting decision. Drew another mon tile that isn't actually super helpful for the Honitsu, but he could high roll like a 3 mon draw, in which case the 2 mon would have some utility in the hand. Decides just to let it go. It's not fully committing.
Maybe Zenhao isn't committed to the Honitsu quite yet, seeing what other hands he can get. Han's the Hatsu. Does he take Tempai? He does take Tempai. Waiting on the 6-9.
Alright, so just aiming for speed here rather than value. Oh, the 4 pin! Dong! Dutchman had called for Sanshoku. Atosuke couldn't win on the 1 pin, and yet the 4 pin comes out anyway, cuts that hand short. That's a
very good play by Kevin.
Yeah, a really aggressive play, especially if you're reading value in the other player's hand. It's a little risky, but it pays out big time here for Kevin.
So what are your thoughts on Otozuke? Because I know a lot of players, myself included, who don't love the idea of going Otozuke if they can help it.
Yeah, I generally am okay with that if it's an honor tile, like your wind or round wind or well, mostly your wind and dragons. I'm pretty okay with that. I'll actually play pretty aggressively for a call that doesn't necessarily confirm the Yakuhai, assuming that I'll see that later. For something like a Sanchoku Atozuke, not really something I'd like to do unless I'm desperate or I think it's unlikely that I'll see the side of the way that puts me Furitan. If I ever read that those tiles are all discarded mostly, or that other players are holding a lot of that tile, then I might be more willing to do that. But
678 Sanshoku potential over on Toyman's side. Kevin. Looks like they're all still kind of progressing their hands. No super fast hands to be seen.
Dora can be a little awkward to try to use. Nathan across the table can certainly easily pull one in, but Bianca's stuck with his 5-7-9 Kanchan, hoping for an 8. And somehow also looking for an 8 mon.
Pulling a 9 pin, which you could take, but that does make some shapes awkward, including not guaranteeing your pair.
Yeah, we can see him really trying to maximize the acceptance of this Dora, not giving up too much efficiency to try to accept the Dora. The hand really hasn't made too much progress, though, in recent draws, so he might have to start sacrificing if the hand ever improves. And that Tuso call is really going to slow this down because he really needed that to fill the 1-3 shape. Yeah, we can see him just giving up that.
Another Tuso, not conning yet, but keeping it for potential. As we just went over Takon later on.
Yeah,
Gets the 8, somehow does get rewarded for that, holding on to that 9 mon.
Very good. So that will potentially add some real value to this hand, especially if we draw 4 mon, 5 mon for the full straight.
Will he con here? This is a good place to con, but then you have your 2 pairs. Draws a Dora, can't use it. Checks it right back out.
The third row, players are starting to get close to Tempai. That is Tempai. We're going to see the 6 on Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 1. Dora 2, rather. 5 so is the new Dora.
Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 2. Ron would be 12,000 on any unsuspecting player. 4-7 looks like all the 4s are either in hand or in the pond, so really waiting on one last 7-so in the wall.
Kevin also was willing to cut the safe 3 mon and is holding a Tempai here, but if he draws something bad against a dealer Ricci, he might just fold. Ooh, 6-0 Nakasuji.
Anko's up the Haku. Very interesting.
Bianca has drawn a lot of these triplets in this game. But if she calls for Tempai here...
She could, because you can just drop the non. And now waiting for Tanki.
Come! Oh, Khan! That gives the 4-pin draw to Kevin, who takes the sumo.
Oh my gosh.
I was not expecting diving Khan against Dealer Reach.
No, definitely not.
If we were seeing anything this game, players like their Khans.
Khans are very fun. They bring a lot of variety and spice to the game. We have been seeing and we learned. Wow. Nathan already having an Anko of the Haku. Perhaps we'll see another timing Khan very soon.
The shapes to back up that triplet of White Dragon, they are a little bit weak. We have the 8-9, so Penchan links up to 7. The Pinzu shape, 2, 4, 4, 6, all the even numbers, looking for some odd pins, like the 3-pin, 5-pin, 7-pin would be very, very good here. The 9-pin Suji to the 6, not really that exciting, so it has a lot of work to do to improve this hand to something that can actually win, but it is really nice to start with a pocket triplet of a dragon, and you can play the hand a lot of different ways from that position.
Nathan could also decide to try and play it feed, right? Start calling, make it a quick 1,000 point hand to get Kevin off of his dealership and to also move it along so no one else can get value in this hand, considering his current value. But he did just pull the 7 so to complete that 8-9 penchant, which was one of probably the better draws that he could have gotten.
And now an 8 pin to connect to the 6, so the pin shape's steadily improving. Across the table, Bianca drawing a lot of Sozu, and she's committing every suit. The tiles of all the suits are coming out except for the Sozu. And she will aim for Honitsu here, or even Chinitsu potentially.
The issue with Bianca's hand right now is that there are no pairs of any of her honor tiles,
Mm.
which might be a struggle to finish her Honitsu slash Chinitsu. Well, Chinitsu, she doesn't need any honor tiles,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
at the moment,
I always, whenever I lack a pair, like you're saying, I always start to think that the hand could be Chinitsu instead.
and I think that's a fair assumption considering she has one east. One east is already in the pond, just discarded. I don't see many south, but two of the green dragons are already discarded as well.
And you can see a little bit of caution in the way she's choosing to play this, not calling the 3-so, which was a very helpful tile for that hand.
Each.
Reach on the left, reach Pihu, hitting on 1-4-so.
Many of them still left in the wall. So
5 total. Template for Nathan. It's a Tonki. And I wonder if the reason he's not taking the reach or swapping the weight is because he thinks the 7-so looks kind of good against this.
リーチ
Yeah, we'll swap to the 1-so now.
Tonki on the 1-so. So we have both players waiting on the 1-so, one waiting on the 4-so. Now we have 2 of each remaining in the wall. Bianca pairs up an east.
It looks like she's been trying to get out of this hand, holding the Mon tiles, not discarding those against the first reach. Oh, the 4, that's the wrong side.
ドン
And
You think-
Nathan will deal into Zunahao for his Richi Pinfu. Ura 1, 3,900. They really are keeping this game quite close so far. No one's giving up too much ground, and then we have Kevin with just a little bit of a lead here. Essentially a Mangan over everyone.
Right, and that could easily be overcome at any moment now. Big opportunity for Nathan. This is their second dealership. And, when you're in 4th place, that dealership becomes ever more valuable. Blocks are pretty good. You have some semblance of shapes. Would like to improve towards some extra value, maybe 6, 7, 8 Sanjoku.
7, 8, 9, also potential.
On the right, Bianca
He
with
also has a 2-3 shape, so could also maybe shift to a Chanta. That's maybe dreaming too hard, but it's there.
Yeah, it's good to keep in mind the possibility. You draw 2-so, 3 Mon. All of a sudden, it becomes very realistic. Although it will draw the 6 Mon
Reach.
breakaway. That is Tempai for Bianca. She did draw the triplet of 5, so that's been her bread and butter this game, it seems. Ricci only waiting on 1-4-so once again.
1-4-so is a pretty good weight considering 1-so is a terminal tile, Although right now, no one's discarding Sozu. Oh, and the Anko of it has been drawn by Kevin, so he's probably going to keep that until the very end. So she really is waiting for that 4-so.
Yeah, there's a problem for Kevin, though. He doesn't have that many save tiles against this Ricci, and terminal tiles start to look pretty safe against a Ricci when you've got nothing else, especially if you've got 3 of them. If you pass one of them, then the other 2 will certainly follow.
He does have that one Haku, so he's safe for at least one more turn.
Yeah, the Dora comes out. That's pretty big.
An Anko of 7 mon. Lots of people getting Ankos right now.
It's a
This does
Tempai.
make Tempai for Zhenhao, but he denies it,
つも
decides to keep the South. And Bianca Tsumos, her 4mon, her 4-so.
Yeah, safe stick hits an
Richitsumo
Udon.
Aura. So unfortunate for Nathan, who was really looking to make the most out of this dealership. But there's still 3 more rounds to go.
Yeah, you might play them a little bit differently now. Nathan will be looking to catch up to Zenhao first. Bianca's not too far away because she's the dealer, and if Nathan can get it sumo, she would have to pay a little bit more from the dealer penalty. Then again, Bianca's not thinking about losing points by someone else winning the hand. Rather, she wants to win this and take over first place. Now, Hypa isn't so bad to do that. It has Shades of Tanya, lots of middle tiles. This one pin can come out pretty easily, as well as the Green Dragon once cut.
ポン
She really wants to catch up here to Kevin, which is only 3,000 points away. And when you're dealer, that is a very easy 3,000 points to make. Kevin is making a very quick Chun call. Maybe Chun Nomi, maybe Chun Chanta, it looks like, actually. Ishanten.
Yeah, that early 9-pin cut signals to me that he really believes that Sanchoku is possible here. Chun, Chanta, Sanchoku, maximizing the value. It is slightly inefficient. Well, this is a Tonki wait.
It is Tempai. Takes Tempai waiting on South. Once cut South.
Yeah, I wonder what draws he'll swap to. 5-mon draws insanely wide. But I think for
Very
the long
good
run,
draws for Zhenhao as well. Ishanten could potentially get Ipeko here.
oh,
Definitely Pinfu. Maybe even Ryan Peko if he gets the 5.
that would
Mom?
be crazy. Dion Peiko. I was watching somebody play recently. They got Dion Peiko Tempai, but sumoed the wrong side.
No.
It was still worth
That's
4
so sad.
Han as dealer, so it was a good outcome, but a little sad to see. And also, like, it was a 2 5-pin wait. 3 of the 2 pins that were out, and only 1 of the 5-pin. So I really thought they'd get the 5-pin sumo, but got the 2 instead. Oh, they want.
Right, very nice fill for that Ryangkan for Bianca. That's 6-8, the 4-6-8. Ishanten waiting on 3-6 pin or 2-5 so. And Zhenhao kind of committing to that Chitoi or Rianpeko by cutting that 3-mon.
Yeah, holding this 5 so Dora, it's tough to discard Dora against an open hand.
There's
Boom.
the South.
Yeah,
Gets discarded.
yeah, it just has to come out here. Nathan had a good opportunity here. Tanya with Dora. If he could slam a Ricci and find a sumo, would have been a big win there, but Dutch will steal it away once again. And this seems to be a consistent theme with his play. He won the 3 Han sumo earlier, and then just these small wins, small and steady, to slowly build up this lead and prevent anyone else from catching up.
Zhenhao, his second dealership, starts the high pie with 2 Dora and very good shapes.
Make that 3.
Easily extendable. 3 Dora. Wow. This could be a swing if he can manage to find this hand.
It's a golden opportunity, but Bianca had an interesting call on the left already. The west, that's not her wind. We talked about Atosuke earlier. She needs the north wind now to be able to play for this hand.
Probably will get it. None in anyone's hand right now, so they are all walled.
Of course, that is the danger.
Hard to use.
Yeah, you expect it to come out because really no one can use any other wind than their seat wind and the round wind, but if it's just buried in the wall, deep in the wall, it might be too late.
Kevin getting a bunch of shapes and not finishing any shapes right now.
Yeah, it's actually really tricky to play in that spot because the 7-8 shape has the weakness of the knights are not giving Tanya, and you really like to be able to call for this hand in order to win it more quickly.
2-5 pin would give Tenpai. 5, I think, being the ideal draw, but doesn't really matter.
Certainly, yeah. 4 pin,
Actually,
6 pin,
2
9 pin.
5 is definitely the ideal draw because then you can reach 6 9. So wait,
I get the Pinishu as well with the 2 or 5.
リーチ
Mauricia Arichi. This is Nathan's been looking for Arichi all game long. Takes the Shabu 8 Mon East. And the 4th Dora. That's actually kind of hard to play. What do you do here?
this is
Con
very difficult.
When you
You
don't
could
know,
con.
hit the button.
Oh, and then gets the 2 pin they've been waiting for, but can't really use that. You can't use
Tsumo
that.
And instead, it's going to be Nathan giving the
Oh,
Tsumo. No Ipatsu because the con breaks that, but Richi Tsumo Dora and misses all the Ura. That's going to be a big swing, but because somehow misses or takes the dealer Tsumo penalty, and now only a 2,000 point gap in between the two players, 2,500 between Nathan and Senhao.
that was the hand that Nathan has been waiting for
Oh,
this whole game.
he really needed
He
that
just
Ura though.
needed
That would have been
something.
the big swing. Needs to do one more time now.
We are in South 4. This game went by so quickly. Sunhao really wanting that first place or positive score to get into that top 5. Bianca also looking for a nice positive score, and she is trying to overtake first place from Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin committing here to Mansu Honitsu. That is the Dora suit, so it can be a scary hand. But if the players could see what's in his hand right now, they would have no fear. It's very far away from Tenpai. But perhaps the opening
I've been
prospects were not
told
strong
if
enough.
your hand is
Yeet.
that bad, you open it and you're just like, can't do anything, go for Honitsu. Just start collecting any tile.
Yeah, then you can fold out in a situation like this. Third place Ricci, it is a Shampon. 1 Mon, 2 pin, Ricci Dora 1.
1 mon once cut already, 2 pin available in the wall, so has 3 chances to draw himself.
There's one of the
There's
tiles.
1 2 pin. What will Kevin do? Holds on for now.
This is a big signal here. Does he want to fight? That's a Dora.
チ
Okay, he's fighting.
Takes the fight.
This means the 2 pin will probably come out eventually. It's just how cautious does he want to play this?
He could also.
well.
Oh, it's coming out now.
Yeah, that's just Ishanten. Is there any way he dodges
He
this?
could also try
South
and
first.
really doesn't like the idea of this 2 pin. Doesn't want to drop it, and for very good reason.
North twice cut. Somehow he's dodging this, but surely.
This is truly an impressive dodge. Haku is dead. Throws that with no hesitation.
This is technically a Tenpai, but it doesn't have a
Tenpai.
Yaku.
He could just take Tenpai
Wow.
for K10 and
So-
just hopes for something.
If that's the plan, then something like cutting 9 mon 9 mon? Yeah. Dancing around here. Suji to the door that was cut, and maybe he can rebuild into a Tenpai later. 6 pin is safe.
This is some incredible hand reading from Kevin and control.
One of the things that's also relevant here, he might be faced with a decision later at the end of the hand, whether to hold on to Tenpai or give it up. And if he passes the dealership, not being Tenpai, he will claim first place. He'll guarantee it.
See, Bianca really trying to build a hand. Looks like is folding though because of that 3 mon drop,
Yeah, finally gave it up.
and will accept second place.
Kevin needs 3 pin or 7 pin to get back into Tenpai. Can call that as well, but not many of those tiles left. Could not find it, so just cuts the 6 pin, and it will go to Ryukyoku. Somehow the only
Somehow
player
will
Tenpai.
get third place, and Nathan will remain in fourth.
Wow, that even the deal would probably be okay for Kevin, but if something like Uda 3 happened, that would have been a tragedy for him dropping into third place. So what a fold there.
Incredible reading skills. I don't think I would have ever noticed that two pin was dangerous. Especially Shabo weights are even harder to read, I think.
Absolutely. There Suji traps can happen. There's no real indication, especially with an early Ricci of what the weight could be. So well dodged. Dash will claim the first place plus 23.1, move into 11th place overall in the standings, hoping to get positive in this next game. Bianca also picking up a few points right next to Tsenhao in the standings. One more game left to play for this series. And I believe they might even be underway already.
Sunhao and Bianca both will likely end up within top five or promoting if the series were to end after this round. So we shall see.
Take a look at the big screen while the next game loads. Oh, also,
James, Jen, Christian, Dylan, and Kayla currently in the top five spot with some very low deal-in rates among the top five. 10%, 10%, 12%.
very good. It seems to be that a lot of times the top players promoting out of the B divisions uh, are the players with the lowest dealing rates. Here we are, game 2 of the day,
Bianca
final game
starting
of the
off
series.
with the dealership. Hand looking very Chitoy, could also be Ipeco. Many options here, but five pairs does sometimes signal maybe this is the cursed hand.
Yeah, cursed or blessing, who knows? I guess most people don't find Chitoy to be a hand that they're very happy to aim for, but it can give
Think of
you.
Chitoy as a hand that you can't aim for, it just kind of happens to you.
Well, that looks like she's aiming for it now. 2-mon cut, giving up the Ipeiko chance, and holding on to this terminal 9-mon.
And holding on to this Chun, this Shumpai Chun.
Yeah, Senhao was probably thinking he was going to see that pretty quickly, but it's held. And Bianca gives up the Dora. I will say, a lot of times when you're going for a Cheeto, or at least thinking about it, you want to hold the Dora for the chance at Hanemon. Richi Tsumo Chitoi Dora 2, because you know if you're winning 7 pairs, you're going to have a pair of the Doras. That's 2 extra Han. And if you hit Uda, that could even be a Baimon.
Chitoy is the shortcut to Baimon. That's
to
what
Bai-
they say. Pairs up
Riichi.
the pay, which ends up tonking on the Chun, which is twice held by Tsunhao. Will he cut from the Chun as safe tiles? Decides to cut
Interestingly,
the 8 first.
yeah, I mean, the Tuso was safe. Could have held the Ishan then, but instead decides to go with the 8-pin first.
Twice cut Hatsu decides to just maybe clear out this 8-pin.
That looks like he wants to stay away from this dealer reach at all costs.
Incredible. I don't know if you've noticed, but Bianca has now cut in
Riichi.
order a 3-so and a 7-so, which is 2 tiles she could have almost had Suanko
Oh, wow.
with just one more good draw.
In the meantime, Nathan draws to Tempai across the table and slams a Ricci. That looks like it's a Ricci P.
4-7.
No.
Oh no! Bianca
Ooh.
draws the 7 after all the 4s have actually been held.
And the Uda 2 is what's going to hurt. Ricci Pifu by itself, not the worst.
Ura 2, that hurts. That's a mangan.
Yeah,
Hard to get those in Akanashi.
absolutely. And Nathan will be thrilled with that win after a slow start in the first game tonight. Opening up with a Mongon and another pair's hand.
No one in this table is at the risk of demotion at the moment.
Boom.
Everyone's quite safe, so they can take some risks. if they would like, to try and push them to that promotion spots.
Yeah, I think it's round three, session three, still a lot to play for. So players will be on the aggressive side. Somehow not aiming for the seven pairs here because that's double east and two door in hand. Once again, two so the Dora. That's 12,000 points ready to be claimed. And if he can find Toy Toy as well, that is 18,000 points.
Holds on to this east. So if he draws another Anko or maybe finishes that 4-5-6 shape, potentially would con, but if he pawns another shape, probably going to discard that east.
And this is going to be a really interesting decision, I think, in the future. Okay, here's the 6.
Takes it.
The east is the most efficient cut here, but you lose the chance to con.
Does he want to con and give 3 players who are closed right now the chance for more Ura?
It looks like he does cuts the 4 so ahead of time. Very
Really
interesting.
is trying to fight for this Toy Toy, which is very interesting.
Yeah, normally when you've got 12,000 points in your hand, you can say, especially with two doors, you can say, I've got the value, so I don't want to provide any value to the other players via con, unless there's, you believe that it's better for you to aim for more points. And in this case, with Sun Hao being at plus 36.1, as you said, maybe wants to not only be in the top 5, but well in the top 5, aiming for, a monster hand here, more than just 18,000 points. Certainly signals that with the 4 so cut and then the con.
Interesting that he really doesn't want to look for anything other than Toy Toy. Kind of narrowed in on this. Cutting that 8 does end up limiting himself to not being able to draw a 7 pin. Waiting on that 2-5 so. I think 2-5 will be very difficult because it is not only Dora but also original Dora Suji, so very awkward to try and shabo on that. It's kind of like a Ramen, but it's not.
Right. It's the shape of it has all the defensive problems that a Diamond has. It's easier to identify, but none of the benefits. Like you actually have fewer tiles than a Diamond would.
One 9-pin being held in hand by Nathan. 2 so's, 1 in Nathan as well, but 2 in the wall still.
2 tiles live for it somehow in order to call to Tempai. And of course, Nathan holding this 9-pin for the Junchan chance. This is 1 away from Tempai. Going fully outside here.
2 5-pin for Bianca would also be Tempai. Like right now. Will she reach and take it, or Dama Pinfu? She reaches with the potential Ipeko.
Oh, the call by Tsunhao gets the 5 so, and now there's an extra 9-pin. And Nathan said it comes out. And that will be the big swing. Somehow enacting revenge. I guess.
Nathan just got his 8,000 points and promptly just lost them.
Yeah, it's going to be rough to come back now. Once again, the battle tight between Nathan and Bianca here in East 2, but somehow at 49,000 points, got exactly what he was looking for, and now he's going to try to build on that with a dealer continuance.
What was Ricci? So not Ricci. Sorry, it was double Ton, Toy Toy, Dora 2.
Absolutely brilliant.
18,000 points, incredible hand. Fighting for that Toy Toy, not punished at all.
Yeah, absolutely honed in on it. Said this is going to be 18,000 points or nothing, and well, got 19,000. Added a Ricci stick as well from Bianca.
This is an interesting decision. Would you take this floating 6-mon, or would you take the 135 round con?
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned by the fact that we've got all of these pairs. I think we just need to cut the 6 and play for the shapes as we have them. I might even, this is a spot where I would go Atosuke. I would call the 8 so, 2 pin, 9 so, and just try to speed my way to a win, hoping that the White Dragon comes out eventually, because these shapes look really slow by themselves.
There is the White Dragon. Wilson, how call it?
Yeah, I think he spent some time there holding the call. He knew he was going to call it, but was just trying to think about which direction he wanted to go. Maybe pair cut. 8-so is pretty efficient. Or commit to the 6-block shape, 2-pin pair, 6-7 shape, 1-3 shape, 8-8 shape, 9-9 shape. So that's 6 shapes that can also shift into Toy Toy in the future.
So he does pair up the 3-so, which is another potential shift to Toy Toy.
And once again, likes that idea, cutting away from the efficient 6-7 shape. So he believes in his pairs in this game.
4 Hatsus drawn over for Kevin. Not conned yet, but likely to be conned soon. Or maybe we'll discard it for safety's sake.
Yeah, now is an okay time to con because you really want to decide whether you're keeping the 7-9 or the 1-3. With 2 of the 2 mod discarded, looks like actually 3 of them discarded. The 1-3 is not doing very much in the hand, so we'll just let that go.
Draws a 7 mod. Probably very happy with that.
Absolutely improving the shape. I'm very curious to see when the con happens. I know Kevin personally, I know he likes con.
Boom.
It's been holding this con
There's
back
the
for so
Toy
long.
Toy. Waiting on 2-pin 3-so.
We're gonna see
Believe
Richie
it or
there.
not, 3-so is completely in the wall. I don't see a single 2-pin either. This is an incredible wait, actually, for Toy Toy.
Oh, will somehow con against this Richie? No, let's it go.
7.
2 Shabos, 5-9 versus 2-3. 5-9 is arguably worse considering
Boom.
Bianca has 3 out of the remaining 4.
And Kevin decided to play the safe, cuts the green dragon away, so no con. Also calls it a Tenpai and jams the 9-mon, which is pretty safe on this board. So holding a weight of 5-8-pin. The 8-pin just came out from the Ricci, so it is safe. If Bianca tries to push it, but 3-so comes first. Bianca with good cutting order, did not deal in on the 8-pin, but that did allow somehow the time to draw the 3-so for the win.
I was getting some incredibly good draws and good luck today, but I think he's also making very aggressive plays that are just paying out for him today.
Yeah, it feels good to make the aggressive play and have it be rewarded. And if you keep making strong plays like that, eventually they'll start to pan out in your favor.
A Honitsu angle from Bianca quite early. Already got rid of all of her excess tiles and other suits. Now looking to either pair up the East or the Haku.
That 7-pin was exactly what she was missing in this hand. Already Tenpai the Haku, and Nathan has an extra Haku left over in the hand. That will come out for the early win. Chun, Honitsu, 3,900 plus 2 sticks. 2 Homba will make it 4,500. Those were the 2 players that were contesting for 3rd and 4th place. So as we switch to Nathan's dealership, once again, he has some work to do, but they will have a good opportunity in this hand, perhaps.
This is Nathan's first dealership. Has 1 Dora in hand, but unfortunately all the Doras are in someone's hand at the moment. So there's probably no chance for him to use that efficiently, unless he's somehow Tonki's on it.
And that becomes
that dream is dead.
Revealed. Yeah.
Boom.
Wow. Yakuhai with Dora 3. It's already a manga.
You know, in some world, that Zunhao's hand is almost Toy Toy again.
There's a potential shift that direction. We'll cheat here for Tenpai 5-8-pin. Kevin is holding almost all of these. 5 out of 8 held. Only 2 left in the wall. But Kevin, I'm sure, is thinking about Suanko here. 2 triplets, 2 pairs concealed in the hand.
It is a really good hand. This is just a Toy Toy kind of day, an Anko kind of day.
Bianca had her fair share of these. Somehow with multiple Toy Toys so far. And now Kevin with 2 Anko.
Pretty good shapes for Nathan right now, though. Very wide acceptance, 2 Shanten, but very easy to get there. Oh, there's another Anko for Kevin, really dreaming of this Suanko.
That's Ishanten. Could, if he draws 8 pin, would have Suanko Tonki chance.
On this east.
That's a Tenpai for Nathan. Will he slam it? It's just a Kanchan. Oh, sorry, that's Ishanten. Doesn't quite have the so shape. Oh, Kevin.
Oh
Sighs a
no.
little bit. That was the pair.
We're all holding our breaths. 3 pin doesn't look super safe. Does decide to go ahead and push it.
Yeah, Kevin's really banking on this east. He sees none out and suspects they're in the wall, and they are all in the wall.
Kevin has a really good chance. Oh my gosh. And there it is.
That's Tenpai.
There's your Tenpai. 6 pin, 8 pin. But they are both the 6 pins are being held.
Oh, that's a double roan. Kevin here is thinking about whether to take the roan or not.
Roan.
He will.
Kevin is wondering why he didn't reach you just now.
It's going to be the Mangan for Tsunhao, and now Sananko Toy Toy for Mangan for Kevin. Surprise! This was Suanko Tenpai. And it must have been really, really funny from Tsunhao's perspective, because I'm sure he had Auto-Ron on. And when the winning tile comes out, and you don't immediately hear the Roan button, the only way that could happen is if someone else is also debating Roan.
Well, it's a good thing that Kevin decided to wrong, because if he skipped it, that would have been it.
That would have been it. No points. Does get the Mangan,
No
though,
points
into second
at all.
place.
Now that does make it quite a big shift. Bianca now in 4th place when she was before sitting quite nicely in 3rd. Nathan also thinking that he might have a chance to climb the ranks now.
Yeah, I was looking down and out, and then all of a sudden a huge swing in the game. And it just goes to show you never know what's going to happen in a game of Mahjong.
Somehow 66,000 points. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be a
Lots of pairs. Everyone has pairs right now.
I was going to say Ishanten for dealer. Ishanten, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, one away for Bianca as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Tenhao. 2, 3 for Nathan.
This is Tenpai for Kevin. Does not take it.
Yeah, it just holds the dom
Maybe
here. I
waiting
really
for
actually like the 8-month wait. Oh, but the
Don't.
4 is going to come out, and it's going to be Chitoy only. 2,400.
Kevin understands that it was probably better to wait for a better Ricci tile, but the Patsu.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. You know, in that situation, if Bianca had not declared the Ricci, Kevin might have chosen to pass the Roan and slam a Ricci on a different tile later, because it was still pretty early in the hand, but against a Ricci, you don't want to risk dealing in afterwards, so just takes 2,400 and will repeat as dealer.
I think being dealer was also very important in that situation because he knows he could maintain his dealership and get 300 more points out of this.
Yeah, it does pair up another tile here. Surely not 2 in a row.
I'm liking a 3-mon cut here, personally.
Yeah.
Decides to cut out of this 4, 4, 5, 6 shape. Decides he has enough pairs.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And we'll end up cutting away from that Mon shape that you were suggesting. On the left, that looks really good for Nathan. Chance at a Ricci Pihu. Potential Dora acceptance as well. Also can get Tanya.
Opening up acceptances here for Kevin. Now Tenpai on 6-9 mon, 3-6 so, and 1-4 so. So now keeping that 7 mon in his hand just in case Adora happens to show up. Though it's not doing much for his shapes. He has quite a few Sozu. Really needs a 7 so to kind of fix those shapes up.
Yeah, I really like though holding the Dora. You still are far enough away from Tenpai that you can hold it. And now that you found Ishanten, it's time to get rid of it and hold the most efficient shapes to Tenpai.
Kevin Tempai for Chundora 1 on 6-9 mon.
All these 6 mon
3
held,
held.
but not necessarily usable. We could even see it come out right here from Bianca. We'll actually cut away from the 9-7 block, going back a little bit, away from
Boom.
Tempai, but planning to rebuild with better shapes.
リーチ
Oh, there is a Ricci from Zhenhao 4-7. So wait, Ricci Ipeco. Maybe Ipeco. This is the right Suji. Wrong tiles. Wrong side.
This one was pretty safe, so Kevin will jam it, but took some pause there. He doesn't really want to take any risks against the player at 65,000 points when he doesn't have to. With the early 2-so and 3 of the 2-sos visible to himself, it's really hard to use this one. Doesn't deal in very frequently.
Bianca also draws the 4-so Takame. Decides to cut out of her 2-3-4 shape. Does sense danger.
2-mon safe. Ethan goes 8-so, 8-so, not necessarily fully giving up on this hand. Certainly dancing around a bit.
Discards Dora, so we know Dora is safe.
The last 4-so has been drawn. Kevin allowed to slide upwards with a 1-so cut. Five minus Nakasuchi. Between the 8 and the 2.
There has been some really good reads on this table about not dealing in.
Yeah, Bianca faced with a
but
really
there
tough
is
spot.
the 9,
ロン
which will be Kevin's win.
She was just about out of save tiles, and so played the terminal, and it did dodge the Ricci. Instead deals into the relatively inexpensive hand from Kevin.
All things considered, not a bad outcome for Bianca, who was already 2 calls.
Yeah,
2 calls out.
Kevin now with a second dealer repeat starts to look at the gap. 24,000. It's challenging, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
A dealer Haneman would do a lot to close that gap.
Dealer Hanetsubo.
Starting with an Anko of Hatsu.
Well, you had one Suanko Tempai before. Could we do it again?
No. Decides to cut away from the 1-3-3 pair.
Oh, that's... He said, I had my one chance, so I've used it up already. I'll play for something else this time.
Really playing 5 blocks here. You have the Hatsu, the Sha. You have your Pinzu, your Pinzu block, your Sozu block, and then your 1-3 Manzu block plus 1. Oh, there is the con option. Decides not to take it.
Second time he's had that option to con the Hatsu specifically.
Wow. This is truly has been a table for pairs and Ankos.
Absolutely. And Bianca had just called for Tanya Dora 2, but now has to fight against this Ricci Dora 1 waiting on the 3-mon. Kevin might just fight this. It's hard to fold.
チ
8-pin Suji, and then when the time comes, might try the 6-mon. Could also dance around with West-West or cut 1-3. West-West first. That's Tempai for Bianca.
Exit also waiting on 3-mon.
2 tiles live in the wall for both of these weights. I guess Kevin will have some decisions potentially in the future. Just like this one. Do we call for Ishan 10? Let's it go. Kevin's out. Now Bianca faces...
deciding if she wants to switch to a Shaba weight 4-5.
Yeah,
potentially getting a third Dora. Decides to keep the 3-mon. But Sumoda by Nathan.
Reach Tsumodora no Ura. You know, that's the one thing we've been missing today. Not a lot of I think we've had a couple 3-Han hands that stayed 3-Han, and maybe a couple 2-Han hands that made its way to 3-Han. We haven't got the Mungun buff by Uda yet. We've just been doing it by drawing triples.
There has been a couple Nichi Pin Fudora ones really hoping for that Ura on that Ron, but has not had any success. So yeah, you're right. Nothing quite buffed by Ura. But there hasn't been no Ura. There had been that one that was just Richi Pinfu by itself that ended up with an Ura too.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that one. So that is the one hand that got buffed into a Mungon.
Wonderful Kanchan fill for Bianca.
And an absolutely necessary hand. You'd love this start.
She has Dora Acceptance and is already Ishanten.
Home.
Just hope that you draw the 2-mon into Tenpai, not the 5-mon.
Home.
This is not what you're looking for. Calls around the table, dragons. That's Tenpai already
Home.
for Tsenhou. And Nathan, both Tenpai.
On the 1-4, I was just gonna say, oh, and she draws the 5 into Tenpai.
Oh, you just have to take this.
Nathaniel, why did you say that? Why did you speak
I
this
was
into
praying
existence?
for the 2-mon, not the 5.
Richi.
Yeah, there's nothing to do against this speed. You have to take this Richi, even with the 9-mon out, and just hope that there's a con.
Oh my god, if there was a con, but you can't con here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The 9-mon
Oh,
is
and
being
No.
held. Oh, and that would have been her swap also. She would have still dealt in to the 1, but could have swapped to Tanya. Before dealing in.
Super Yasume, unfortunately. And now with only 3 more rounds remaining, Bianca has a lot of work, but we saw you can get 16,000 point swings in one hand. Definitely doable. What a high pie, though.
Pritsun Hao already Ishanten Anko of South, which is the round win. Dora Acceptance on the 4-so. And Tenpai on 5-8 1-4-so. Or 5-8 pin 1-4-so.
Super strong Ichihime on the right, Nathan. Nodora, a couple awkward shapes. Just the 6-8 Kanchan is a little weird, and then multiple pairs. So it could be a little bit tricky for them to build value into that hand. Kevin draws a Dora. Probably will think about Tanyo. Bianca's hand is struggling to find something worthy of playing. Looks like just a Ricci at best. Funny little choice here. You can cut 8-mon, 8-mon, and think about shifting to Honitsu later.
Also get rid of your Dora Acceptance. But +1 versus +2, or +3 if it's closed. And that's exactly what Tsenhou does. Thinks about Honitsu, probably. The acceptances are the same for Tenpai.
Mm-hmm. And most of the time, I don't think you end up with Honitsu. There's always some very specific draws that could even allow you to consider that possibility, but it's worth keeping the option open, probably.
Chi.
Bianca, in the meantime, drawing an Anko has been the theme, and another pair could find Sun Anko. Is Ishanten for it? Just somehow sense the need for speed here.
Chi.
He does. Will call the 8-pin. Lessen the value of the hand, but hold the Tenpai.
Tsenhou doesn't really need value here. He does just need speed, considering he is at 63,000 points. He doesn't want to let other people build their hands.
That's true. And, Kevin has opened up across the table already with Tanya Dora too. So he definitely doesn't want Kevin to win that. Could also have Sanchoku 6, 7, 8 from Mangan.
Kevin is seeing all the 8s being discarded by Tsenhou and is like, give one to me.
And just like
But
that.
Nicely, Nathan has listened to him.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting from Bianca. Holding the 3-6 pin will probably want to cut one of those tiles, but the one she chooses is going to have a big impact on this game. I think a lot of times you cut the 6 pin because the open hands have already called using a 6 pin, so it's a little less likely they'll need another one. Just sumo.
Just sumo your Kanchan. Easy. Sanchoku.
Yeah. Just get the last
Tanya,
one in the wall.
Sanchoku, Dora too.
And importantly, that was Tsenhou's dealership, which means Kevin is bridging this gap. Only
That also means he is now a Mangan Sumo away, I believe.
It looks like
Um,
pretty
or
close, just a
no,
little bit more.
very close.
But with 2 rounds, that's 2 hands to do it. Also, he has his dealership in all last.
That's a super powerful position to be in to overthrow this Sunhao's insane hands from earlier.
Yeah, honestly, I thought I was winning that one, but oh my goodness, that's door 3 for Kevin.
And Kevin also has had some amazing hands today.
Absolutely, and this could be another one. Ishan 10 mega wide acceptance. I think it accepts every single pin tile into Tenpai.
The challenge is just to get a pin tile now.
Home.
Nope, Monzu. And Nathan opens up with the South. South door 1. Perfectly acceptable from their position.
They are Ishan 10, just needs to pull one of the 8s. Either 8 so or 8 pin.
Eight
Oh,
months.
kicking
Yeet.
himself, that 1, 2, 3.
That is one of the tiles to Tenpai. 6-pin East Shabo. Well, 6-pin was a lucky tile last round. And the East is typically a good weight in the South round by the non-dealer. This one's cut though.
1 6 pin in dealer's hand, 1 in the wall, and 1 east in the wall as well.
And you can see how excited Kevin was to find Tenpai there. Slammed the button, is like, wait a second, what's my weight here? Okay, Shabo, let's go.
That could have gone so many different ways depending on which pin tile he drew. Could have easily been a 1-4 weight. Could have been I don't know, a 5-8 weight depending on what happened.
Yeah, 2-5 pin, 5-8. So many
4-7
different options. And Totsu, 6-9 East.
Definitely a super wide Ishan 10.
The waiting game now for Kevin. Really just waiting for the last
Bianca
East.
has 2 Ankos, both of them being 8s. I wish I could say that Doko was alive right now.
Ooh, is it?
Is it alive?
It is live, yeah. No one's drawn an 8 so. There's one in the dead wall, but the other 2 are in the wall.
Oh my gosh.
There's one of them.
See There's one more.
It's actually Suanko Ishanten. Could we see Toko broken by Suanko? Nathan draws it to Tenpai. Shabo 5-mon 4-pin. Oh, that 5-mon in Zenhao's hand looks kind of okay against
awfully
this
loose
Riichi.
right
Oh,
now.
4-pin Sumo!
Oh no!
And Nathan's gonna shut down the big Riichi from Kevin. East not found in the wall. It was stuck later, maybe even in the dead wall. And that's going to keep the gap wide between Zenhao and Kevin. And Nathan will keep up this dealership run. It also crushes Bianca's Suanko dreams.
Which I'm sure she is absolutely devastated at this point, considering her high right now is not super exciting, I would like to say.
No, this is... I mean, honestly, I think she did well to find Suanko with the last hand. She could do it again. If your high pie is this difficult, just draw more triplets. It has been the theme all day long.
Just start drawing pairs, and from your pairs, just draw triplets. How hard could it possibly be?
Certainly. Also, I want to point out something here. Somehow, first cut Haku, first cut Dora. That's a move you see a lot from somebody who's in first place by a large margin. Just getting rid of that honor tile door early. If somebody needs it, then you know who to avoid. And if no one calls it, it's a lot harder for them to build value later in the hand.
We see a second Dora come out from Nathan, seeing the once cut Dora already, decides, doesn't want to wait and see if he can pull another one. Worst case scenario, someone else drew a pair between that first cut, and then now you just gave your dealership away.
Right, but
Trying to avoid
now that second door has come
hand.
out, so now it feels like mission accomplished for him.
Ishanten over for Kevin once again, just needs either a Manzu or a Pinzu.
Home.
A large number of tiles will bring
Yeet.
Tenpai.
something connecting to either the 7-pin or 6-mon specifically. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what I was saying. Ricci from Zenhao. 4-7 so wait. Not quite
相撲
Pinfu, but Epot Sumo.
That's the way to do
Doesn't
it.
even
Reach
need
past the
Pinfu.
Uno this time. There it is.
Hits it.
The leader
There's that
gains more
Mangan.
points.
This also probably guarantees his first place unless Kevin does some really insane hand building right here. He is dealer, can wrench on to his heart's content,
ポン
but trying to make up 23,000 points in all last. Hard but doable.
And once again, we see somehow discarding the Dora, the honor tile Dora first. This time it gets called by Nathan, so I'm very interested in seeing how somehow plays this hand. It's importantly called by the non-dealer, so he could just fold away and let everyone worry about that Dora 3 hand and sit there with a 67,000 points.
There is also a potential where he can Sashikomi into this hand since it's open. You know the value. This is a maximum hand of a Mangan. Unless he somehow finds Honitsu, which we don't know yet. Doesn't look Honitsu.
Yeah, certainly.
But that would end the game, keep him first, and shut down Kevin's chances of catching up to him.
Yeah, that's really interesting whether you're willing to sacrifice 8,000 points to confirm that the game ends this very round, or if you're hoping that you can get away with like maximum 2,000 point loss via Tsumo. And that does, risk Kevin getting a repeat. So again, I'm very curious to see which route he chooses. Sashikomi, an interesting thought here.
Kevin potentially can get Itsu. Was looking at Honitsu for half a second before deciding it was too slow.
Yeah, this is a spot where Kevin can't really lose second place here by dealing into a Mangan. So he could play just full Zensu, just full on aggression, and just ignore the open hand on the left. Although now
Where is the West? Are both the West still in the wall? They are.
And these cuts are making it a little bit more apparent that this hand is going to be Honitsu as well, so Senhou probably no longer wants to Sashikomi into this, and Kevin probably not so willing to just play full on aggression against this.
Interesting choice. So Senhou also decides to fully fold away from this hand, finished his 7-8-9 block, and is just fully cutting away from it. Decides he doesn't need this. He just wants to take his 67,000 points and try to maintain as much of it as possible. And if there's a Sumo, there's a Sumo.
Yeah, that's again maximum 3,000 points lost. We see Kevin doing the same thing with a 4-pin, 3-pin cut. Doesn't like the number of 5-pin that are discarded, and also just doesn't want to drop a Sosu tile. A Sosu against the open hand from Nathan.
Not Tenpai yet, but Ishanten.
Notice Bianca drawing the West, stopping, just full on stopping, saying this looks terrible. Checking the table, I don't see any of these out. I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to discard it. That's Tenpai.
This is Tenpai. One so Tonki.
Trouble for Nathan. If he draws around the 7 so, could deal in. Usually you'd cut the 1 so ahead of the 4 so.
This is just Ipeko.
Cuts the 7. And now should be pretty safe. Well, it's only the West call and the South draw that put Nathan in trouble.
Oh, there's another Hatsu?
You see Bianca transforming her hand into Chinitsu.
Holding on to that West, so probably Honitsu. She has another Anko of Tuso. Just one this time, though.
A large number of tiles will put her Tenpai. Nathan didn't get there. There's a Sumo. What? The last
Sumo
one.
Ipeko.
We're not done yet.
Wow.
This game has had so many twists and turns. I never would have thought that Kevin would actually be winning this hand after Nathan dropped the 7 so.
Kevin is full on doing his very best. He's like 20,000 points. That was 4,000 down, 20 more to go.
Wow, that's another pair for Kevin. Also has a singular Dora in hand. We'll see if this turns into a Tanya or maybe a Tanya Chitoy.
With the way these hands have been going, I am betting on probably just a Suanko, actually.
Yeah, they've been trying. Oh,
Home.
cuts the Dora, and Bianca says, "Thank you very much. I'll absolutely take that." She might shift into a Honitsu with all these singular honors. Could also just cut them all and play for a Tanya.
Does end up getting a pair of Norse that is not her win, though.
It will convince her that Honitsu is the way to go, however.
Draws a Chun, only twice cut.
Home.
Send call. Now the plan has become apparent. Could also be Toy Toy theoretically to the table, but very likely to be Honitsu at this point. Shan's very common without red fives in the game. Easy way to get a value.
Somehow also Ishan 10, waiting on 1 mon, 3 mon, or 4 mon, or a 6-0. Cons the North. 6-0 is now the new Dora, and Bianca does have one of them, so now she has Honitsu Dora 4.
That's a Hanuman, and from this position, why not, Con? Why not add some extra volatility to the hand? You need the points.
If she can get 2 more Han somewhere, that's a Baimon.
Yeah, there's ways to do that.
16,000 direct might overtake third place.
Yeah, the gap here
Nathan
is
deals in.
23,400. So 16K direct will absolutely do that. In fact, even Hanuman direct will do that.
Hanuman direct would do that, 23,000.
Great opportunity for Bianca, but Kevin has been playing so cautiously against these Honitsu hands. He actually did give up this one, so let it pass, or tried it out, sent it out there. It did pass. Should have been relatively safe, but if Bianca had the last 3, so it could have been a little scary.
Anko's up the 2-pin, is now Ishan 10 as well.
Another hand where the 5-8, last hand it was 5-2, this time it's 5-8, starts to come out. He doesn't like it anymore, so he holds the pair of 7s instead. Yeah, recognizes that these middle Sozu are just bad tiles to discard, so we'll cut away from the 7-pin pair.
Bianca finds Tempai waiting on just east. There is one left in the wall.
And this is a big opportunity for a direct hit. There's only one in the wall. It's twice cut. It's Hellweight, they say. And, you could convince yourself to try to pass a Hellweight tile, especially if you need the points. If Nathan draws it, he could be in trouble. We'll see.
Will she swap to a 4-7 weight? Although it feels better, it is actually worse considering all the 4s are being held in hand at the moment.
Yeah, that would be the play. I think if you're trying to draw it yourself, at least she should have some level of confidence that the East could be in the wall.
I think it's almost guaranteed that the East is in the wall at this point. There's no one else who would want to keep it. Except now they realize it might be dangerous.
Dum.
And Kevin deals in. Wrong person, so we'll maintain 4th place.
Yeah, that will leave Kevin in second place, still plus 9.8. Big winner, though, somehow 51.7. A huge margin of victory there. And Bianca got that nice Hanuman at the end to pull back some of the points. It's always nice to finish positive when you've dipped down into the negatives.
Definitely saving herself some of those negative points at the very end. Even though she's last, mitigating how last you are is very important in this league/ladder type structure. But somehow with that game, put himself very securely into the promotion zone, up to 4th, plus 87.8. Kevin also starting at 10th today, now ending up at 8th. So pretty good overall. No one in the demotion zone right now. So overall, very solid game from all 4 players.
Yeah, very exciting games. They certainly made things entertaining and built some monster hands. The number of concealed triplets that we had was kind of crazy. All right, I'm taking a look at the board. Looks like we have more games in action. Perhaps what we should do is take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have more Armal action going all the way out until I think like 8:30 Pacific time. So we'll have plenty to come. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are going to be hopping into an 8-2 match, a really exciting one with our
Each.
newly minted 9 Dan, US 9 Dan on Tenho. And we'll be joined with two new commentators, JPML professional players, Garth and Jen. How are you two doing?
Yo, what's up?
Fantastic. Sorry.
G.
Just trying to get the names of the players. We're gonna jump right in the middle of a game here. I'm excited to watch
Yeah, this is gonna
new
be,
Nine Dawn, the first Nine Dawn in the English realm. Is that correct?
I believe so. I haven't heard of any other one. But yeah, this is Brian, is at the dealer in South 1. Daniel is sitting to the right. Across the table, Eric And on the left is Julian. Julian has declared a Ricci for a Chitoy, waiting on this east.
I've been writing all these names down.
All right, so we'll get to see at least one dealer turn from each player. Brian, the current dealer, is in third place with 21,300.
It's Tempai.
Deciding
Looking
whether
to
to con
win.
here, does not con against the reach.
Safe conservative play.
I think I end up conning there when I. That's why I lose so much. I think we
I was just
should.
about to say that there's a reason perhaps you and I are not in A2 and they are, because that would have been my move too.
Yeah, not an A2 and also not 9 done.
But also not 9 done, yeah. So yeah, that's playing playing conservative with the not con, but still pushing with the 7 of bamboos. Still
Yeah, well,
pushing.
as dealer, he will be able to remain dealer even if he doesn't win the hand, if it ends in a draw. So just hoping that he can eke out the 5-8 bam or possibly eke out the 8-5 bam, or at least that Julian does not win the hand. And there's the winning tile over in Daniel's hand, but it also fits into his hand, makes him tempai. And he'll take it, discarding the 4 crack for a 2-5 weight.
You see, there is still one tone,
Oh.
one east out.
Is he gonna take tempai?
Oh no, what's he gonna do?
He takes
Oh,
tempai and deals
throws.
in.
That was tough. He did not need the extra 8. 5-8. He had the 5-8 weight, he got it, and then he got an unneeded one. So that was unlucky for him, but that does increase dealer turn for
As Brian will
Daniel.
continue as dealer and has
Yeah,
Brian will continue as dealer and has what looks like a very obvious half flush, but the 2 bamboo paired up. So we'll see if he continues the half flush or goes for a quicker and more efficient hand.
does also have one Dora. If the Dora pairs up or the white dragon pairs up, that might change his outlook. Or the 1 of dots too. Oh,
There it is, the
and
flush.
there's the flush.
Basically, just needed one of anything, one dot or one of the honors to pair up, and that would
Dot
just
to push
decide
him.
the. Yeah.
I wonder when he chooses to chi here or palm.
Yeah, I think.
Now he's definitely gonna.
Yeah, I
gonna
think
palm
the
the
chi of
first.
the 2 dot would be pretty immediate.
Right.
Yeah.
Already one of those out.
Even before drawing the white dragon, but other than the 2 dot, none of the other calls are very obvious to me. Maybe a 5-8, but and the South Sea Daniel is just 1 away with a really no tempai.
At this point,
And reaches with a
also,
3-sided
okay.
weight.
The
3,
4
6,
dots
9
also I think might be pwnable because it does give you tempai. Then he has to throw Dora. So now, I guess he's probably not gonna.
It is tempai, but you have to discard Dora, and the weight is just really not great,
not
especially
ideal,
when you look like a clear.
Oh,
Oh, well,
tempai!
just
What's
draw
he
it
gonna do?
himself.
Does he throw Dora? Oh, this is a big one. Could throw Epeen. Try waiting for Dora. Oh, he's gonna reach. Ball's out. Oops. Can we say that on TV?
It's not real TV. It's okay.
Oh, sweet.
And across the table, Eric decides to fold, discarding his middle 2 crack. Folds against both reaches. Draws a safe.
Sumo.
Oh wow! What a mess!
Yeah, that's good. I wasn't ready to finish commentating that hand.
Yeah, he did. He was not waiting for the commentators to get their act together.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Crushing. And again, he starts off with a nice hand. 2 Dora. He's already got 1 Mensu completed and good 2 gut shots for the rest of it. And now he's got another open-ended weight. Turning this dealer into a pretty big deal.
Oh, good one. I want you to acknowledge me acknowledging your.
Interesting. All right, so I was wondering what he would do there for the Dora. He's more committed to using them as a pair or perhaps a triple and going for the 2 gut shots there. Probably a good decision since we can see a lot of the 6s already being used or as the Dora indicator.
Yeah, pairing up that 3 bam gives more options for calling. And that the
On
only
all
every call is going to end up with something that's kind of difficult to deal with,
not
but could
ideal.
lock in a Tanya hand at least with 2 Dora.
Be interesting to see what he would do if somebody had to throw Dora here. Oh wow.
Oh.
All right.
We shouldn't talk about Brian calling tiles. He just
Yeah,
draws them all himself. You should never call ever.
doesn't need on or chi.
This is
And
how you become cute on. You draw all the tiles that you need that help you.
that is the best way. Oh, ouch. There's one little miss.
It's a little backfire, but I mean,
Yeah, I know. It's certainly what I would have done in that situation. It's one of those things you're like, oh yeah, now that it's happened. Frustrating, but feels like it was still the right decision in the moment. I start focusing on some of these other hands here. So we've got one away from ready. And the Kamicha there. Oh, ouch. And not getting the Ranmachi there. Oh, we've got another open-ended weight here in the Sozu now. Not
yeah, Brian's hand
guaranteeing
upgraded to
Tanya.
a lot more options, a lot more weights available there.
Other hands. Let's see. Shimocha is a little bit behind.
Right,
May is
Daniel
also
really only one away from ready though.
Each.
Daniel on the right there.
and now we get the reach. The Dora and all of the ones over there. It's going to be
Just
tough to
waiting for
play
the
against.
middle 3 crack. That's it. Just 3
There's an ag-
tiles, but they're not in anybody's hands. There's 3 in the wall.
Home.
It's an aggressive reach, but I think he was figuring, look, if I'm the first one to get to reach, I can reach and maybe knock some other people off their hands. Little does he know. Oh, ouch! Free 10. That's not what you wanted to see. I wonder what he will do to adapt here. If he might pawn. Well, he's not going to have a lot of options to pawn the G1. He's really just got to hope he does not draw the wrong tile.
Yeah, I mean, he'll end up probably cheating the 6 maybe if it comes out.
And dropping something in Sozu?
Yeah, I think so. But maybe now it's too late. Probably nothing will happen.
Yes, it's either he draws his 6. Well, there's no 6s up.
Well, you draw if the 6
I'll
dot
just-
comes out and he cheats and he can discard a safe Sozu and stay tempai.
But
It's
they're
a
already
little
all
bit
in
better
the
than
other.
drawing.
They're already in the other people's hands, so that's not a.
Oh, the
nothing
6s are.
anybody
Oh,
has
yeah,
to
you're
worry-
right.
Yeah.
Look at they're all highlighted and everything.
I know, right? So easy for us to see if we would just look. All right, that continues his turn as dealer. He does slog it out, and he starts off with another okay hand. What do we got here? I think we're about Sanchantin.
Really considerate of him to keep, stay dealer so that we can actually commentate a longer game instead of just the 4 south round hands.
So accommodating of him.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this is his chief motivation for staying dealer.
Yes, he's thinking of us.
But not such a great hand this time. The last 2 hands were better. Still
Complete
2 away
immense
from ready
there.
there. On the right, Daniel has a really callable hand. And with his score, and also to end the dealer, I think he might want to.
Yeah, leaning into his
be
turn as
pawning
dealer.
here,
He's
yeah.
got a bunch of pairs, yeah. It's interesting to see if he's going to make this into a flush hand or a chi toy hand. Getting more flushy.
It's like a flush. Yep, it's like at least
Gee.
being aware of the flush. It still has the 5-6 bamboo incomplete sequence there, but could easily discard that if he draws.
Yeah.
Basically, like the last hand. If he'll switch that to open-ended. Probably, maybe.
Boom.
I think I
Oh,
could.
there's the pawn. All right. So for the moment, he's not committing to
A flush, yeah. I think
flush.
drawing maybe something like the 2 dot or the 4 dot might. The 2 dot for sure. It's the Dora.
Yeah, Dora. But we are running out of 2 dots.
There are 2 more in the wall.
Indeed, at the moment, I think he does probably want more to end this turn as dealer than to go for really big points.
Oh, there's one of the 2 dots. Pairs up. So Brian continues to draw the bestest tiles.
Still 2 away
Everybody
from
else
ready, though.
struggles
Oh,
to call.
what is the decision here? Tempai, or he does take Tempai. All right, so he's going for the cheap hand. Try to end Brian's turn as dealer.
Across the table now. Eric is Tempai, waiting for the middle 3 bam.
Also looking to just end this turn as dealer.
Boom.
Two of them are
No,
already.
Brian is Tempai waiting for the middle 5 bam. Everybody needs bamboos. And everybody's holding bamboos. Julian as
several-
well in the left seat. One away.
Oh,
Oh, was
con?
one away.
We're going to con here? Or do we change to the 7 weight? He does change to the 7 weight. All right, so there's 2 of them out already. That's an interesting move to go for the. I mean, there's only 2 sevens out left, right? Tsumo didn't make a difference.
Daniel will draw. Yeah, I think it's partially because of 4. I don't know. I think it might be because it's difficult to use with the 8, and since it was discarded already, it will probably be discarded again if somebody draws it. Something like that. I don't pretend to know how a Kyudon thinks.
By the way, Brian does still have a nice hand starting right off the bat again with 2 Dora and 2 Nons and a completed Insu. So he looks to be just kind of trying to score a quickie to end this guy's turn as dealer. This is Daniel as dealer right now.
Daniel is dealer. Eric's in the right seat. Julian across the table, and Brian to the left.
All right, currently. Oh, all right, there's another pair. Does he go for the Chitoitsu Ishanten?
He commits to Chitoitsu. He could have hedged it by discarding the green dragon, but it commits to the
Yes,
Chitoi.
there were a lot of heads yet, right? So now, yeah. All right. Well, there we go. Chitoitsu.
Tempai. Probably a reach
with
waiting for the green
Hatsu.
dragon.
There we
Yeah.
go. We can take
All right,
one.
putting pressure on the other players as dealer.
Patsu. Ipatsu Hatsu. There's one winning tile.
There's already one west on the board, so it feels a little bit safer. And of course, west is not a value tile for the dealer.
See who might decide to make a challenge here.
Eric is Tempai on the right here, waiting for a Shabu, but breaks the Tempai. Did not have a Yaku and did not reach, so was playing it uber safe. Even though the one crack doesn't look terrible, actually. Even with one out.
Ryan still has 2 Dora. Now, and he's Ishanten, right?
Yep, just needs to fill in something. A
Actually,
5-8 or a
Dora.
6 or an 8.
I'm sure he would Pon Dora if it got discarded by
Daniel.
Daniel the Reacher here. There's one pawn already. Oh, it does throw the Hatsu. I don't think he had any other clearly safe tiles, so.
No, they're clearly safe tiles, and had gotten closer to ready himself as well.
He was close to ready. It seemed like an okay place to push a little.
Yeah, and honor ties generally aren't a big push. It's really hard to read that all pairs hand that early.
Ooh, we got another pair of value tiles here. Wow, that's, you know, he's got an open-ended weight there for the Dora. I don't think this is a good candidate for a flush hand yet.
But
Another
still
hot,
gonna hang on to honors and get
right.
rid of kind of the floaters in the middle. There's only 4 blocks decided really in his hand right now.
Oh, look at you and
Probably
block theory.
it's not block theory, it's just counting blocks.
Oh, right. Can't even do that.
Just counting blocks does not count as a
1
theory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't think so.
Oh,
Not making
there's
any
another.
conclusions except for how many blocks there are.
There's a completed block. Oh, 8
Yes.
fans.
Oh,
Oh, look at that. He does not throw the paso. He's got a paso out there just waiting to be given away, and he plays it safe.
the West is one of the only safe tiles he has in his hand, and he has 3 of them, so he can roll the hand over and try to tempai a different way.
Certainly setting him back, but you know, he is in positive points at the moment. Maybe he's feeling, I got some points on this turn as dealer. I'm not that far away from second and first place. Maybe I just got to give up this battle. This battle to win the larger war later.
つも
Yeah.
Looks like
I think also, yeah, the draw across the table from last place self draw there isn't really that detrimental. Still has 2 more hands and such a small gap there that he has to make up. It's only 6,400 points, which is pretty. I mean, it's not like easy, but it's generally if
certainly
you
more-
want to
Boom.
stay within range of manga and sumo, and it's well within that range. So
more within range than, say, if he had thrown even just like, say, a 39-point hand, 3,900
yeah,
point.
absolutely.
All right, so the defense may have paid off for him here. We've got another new dealer. Rek is the new dealer.
Another thing to keep in mind is that anything above 30,000 is positive.
Right.
So even if you're not aiming for first place, staying above 30,000 is really important in these rules.
Currently just one player below 30,000, so he will be the last dealer. He's certainly looking to prove his standing there. Right now, Eric has one completed group, one completed block, now that I know that terminology.
You can say group if you'd like.
There's no group theory. There's only block theory, I think.
ポン
And across the table, we have Tempai waiting for,
Yeah.
rather than, he's already using a lot of the 2 of bamboos, so he chooses not to go that open-ended weight because he's using most of them already. For the moment, this improves the weight, doesn't it? We've got the 1, 2, 4 of cracks for the win. For Daniel looking to escape the cheapie.
Yeah, across the table is Brian. That's Tempai.
That's Brian. I'm sorry. Oh, it's Brian.
Okay.
Yep.
No, Brian.
Um,
Brian is the cute one.
There. And
he'll take
Kudon.
the mangon from Julian.
I totally missed the fact that was Dora. Hello, not cheap win. All right.
It was a quick hand. It was a quick hand, but not a cheap hand.
Yes, he was going for the quick big win.
All right, so now
All
we're
right.
in the last hand of the 4th round, the last hand of the game. Julian in last place is the dealer, and this is actually a great hand to rally with. Lots of open-endeds, lots of options. 1 away. It's 2 away, but it's 1 away from a perfect Ishanten, a perfect 1 away hand.
And also use Dora if he gets it.
Yeah, so filling in either of the two open-endeds will give him a perfect one away. Which is one of the shapes you always want to be kind of aiming for when you're playing. You can aim for the perfect one away before you get to ready.
And now he is one away.
And it's perfect.
ポン
So perfect one away means that you will end up, no matter what you tempi with, no matter what you get ready with, you will end up with an open-ended weight. And it's great for when you really need to reach your hand.
Not much shape shifting to be done in this hand. I think the only thing that would really change anything would be the 4 of cracks. He's really just looking for the 6-9 of dots or the 2-5 of cracks.
Well, I would definitely want to
Senpai,
fill in the 2-5 first if possible. Although there are two 9s out on the board and 2 are used across the board, so it would be a difficult weight, but it doesn't look terrible from Julian's perspective.
the third Dora was currently just drawn, so now he's drawing thin. Does he change to the 2-5 dot weight here?
He
Does not.
wish he would.
1
There's 2 of the 2-5s out, and there's 2 of the 9s out. So
Yeah, but we can see the 9s used in the pair across the table. In
right.
Daniel's hand.
He
I know
knew
he
what.
can't see it. That's why I'm saying I wish that he would have.
What is Brian gonna do
Eat.
here with 1 Dora? He goes for the Dora Tanki Chitoitsu. Been pretty successful so far. Will he
Right.
draw the final Dora?
1
You're talking about Daniel.
Oh, I keep doing that. Yes, sorry. Brian is the one who's reaching right now. Yes.
Brian is reached, yes.
Okay.
Waiting for
There's
the 5-8
one
crack. Yeah.
Dora
Possible
still.
Sanshoka. Oh, I think it's Julian's gonna have to discard this if he wants to tempi. And he might just be thinking, what the hell? Because nope, he does
Oh,
not think
wow.
what the hell.
The moment. So yeah, he did have definitely safe, but it does look dangerous. Sitting out there all by itself. He's already thrown away a 7. Wow, boy, that is tight play. Unlike mine. How does he know?
Yeah, the 8 dot was also not that crazy safe. I
Right,
think he
I'm
figured he had
finding
a pair of them, and if one passed, the
the
2 would pass, I guess.
5 of dots had not come out. He threw the 8 before the 5 dots, right?
Yeah.
All right, he's back to Ishanten. Is oh, but he's not going to take it.
He's worried about that west. Perhaps because the cross player looks kind of Chitoitsu-ish with
Except
the
that
early
he
5 dot discard.
had thrown the West as his first discard, so
Cross, maybe I'm thinking
yeah,
maybe I'm talking about someone else.
the Pawan stop was a pretty amazing place to have stopped. So he doesn't get to finish his turn or he doesn't get to continue as dealer, but he avoids throwing into another hand, and that'll end the game.
Yeah,
Brian,
Brian will
I-
take first place with plus 33.9. Eileen's Eric with plus 9.1. Daniel plus 2.5. And our only negative player in this game was Julian minus 45.5.
he did
And
happen to
Julian
jump in
was,
at
yeah, it was.
just the right moment to catch Brian's turn as dealer. Man, did he crush it!
He did, and Julian was plus like around 50, but this brings him down to just barely positive. While all the other 3 players are still very negative, so they really needed those positive scores. We're about halfway through the season right now with round 3. So we will watch one more game from these same 4 players. They're going to be in different seats, Garth. So
Oh my God!
I'm
I mean,
counting
I
on the
have to.
fact that you didn't memorize them in the first place.
Does that change their names too?
Our first dealer will be Eric. And wait a second. Yeah. We're watching dealer. Yes, first dealer will be Eric. To the right in the South Seat is Brian. Across the table is going to be Julian. And the last dealer or the nurse seat right now is Daniel.
All right.
You can see in the standings, Julian's going to be trying to climb back up to the spot that he was in earlier.
Pump.
What in the world? Things are just falling off my
Pump.
shelf on me. Sorry. Okay. I have an earthquake or something.
I didn't knock a Megaro.
Okay. We can talk about the hands,
Yeah.
please.
Oh, we've got. He's got a good shot at Sanshoku here, but he does want to use Dora. So he doesn't have an Atama yet. Is he going to go for the 4-7 dots? Currently hoping for a 7 of dots so that he can use Dora and have Sanshoku in the hand. Does he reach? That's a good question. Does he reach if he gets, like, say, Sanman or Rowan? 3 or 6 of Crags.
I think as dealer, you really want to put the pressure on other people, but the problem is the calls on the right side. And you're gonna get
He's
stuck.
got-
And would it be a strong enough reach to get Brian to fold his hand?
Other consideration, of course, depending on who you talk to. If your hand is in its
Reach.
final shape, you might as well reach. Whoa! The reach from
And
Eric.
Julian says that. Eric is our
So
dealer.
he's just
Across
pinned
the
for
table is Julian.
Sorry, what? Oh,
Pump.
Julian
Eric.
reached, waiting for the 2-5 dot. Eric just
Sumo.
pwned. Ready with the 4-7 dot, and the 4 just floats over to the
4. Ouch.
his 4 went to Brian, and Brian won the hand. Big score too, 2008, 4,000. Mangan draw.
Ungone.
Okay.
All right, so we got Brian and the dealer here now, right?
Yeah, Brian, silver. DF? Silver DF. Okay, I don't know if that's gonna help.
Silver.
I'm good with the name. Okay. Brian pairs up the honor, the green dragon. And since the
Pump.
hand is, the shapes are so poor, he decides to pull the green dragon immediately. It's not going to be a good candidate for reach because of all the bad shapes. It's really just full of middleweights.
There's an interesting possibility of going for, say, either the half flush or a Chanta outside hand.
He does have one Dora in there that probably if the 4 will come, he'll just switch to an open-ended. Just do anything to use that Dora. Oh, interesting. Decides to... No, I wouldn't even be thinking for Toy, but generally if you're calling, you want to keep the pull
advance your hand as quickly as possible.
Yeah. So I'd want to keep the 3 for the pull option, but I think he's looking at maybe pairing up the east might be worth more value.
Large Dora. Oh boy, now that I wonder about the 3 of bamboos throw there. Although yeah, then if you had drawn east again next, then you would feel like, oh, that's a big loss. Even here now, he has at least 5,800 points guaranteed if he can win this hand.
And I think a lot of players would discard the 1 pretty early and lock in the Dora pair.
Oh, and he's going to cheat that.
He does.
Wow.
Instead, he cheese it.
And still thinking half flush. All right, interesting.
So looking to maximize the value while he can. Of course, still with negative 26 or 28 overall. So definitely needs to rack up those
Julian
points.
gets to Tempai. Dora, but he's waiting for Haku and Sampin. Haku, of course, gives him more points. None of them are visible anywhere.
And Eric reaches as well, waiting for the 5-8 bamboo, which Brian draws immediately.
Just discards, like gives up immediately too. Just amazing. And he throws the safe Chi 1. He's in the lead, and boy, that is some conservative play.
In the lead and against two
Oh wow! And
reaches
now
as
he's
well, with 4
got
safe
another
tiles in
Dora
the
here
hand.
again.
Yeah.
The cheaper option goes to Julian, and he snags 700 and 1300 from all the players. He is now dealer, putting
Yeah,
the
so
wind in his sails as he
Brian,
becomes
in
dealer.
that case, with 4 safe tiles and 2 players, 4 safe tiles, 4 tiles that are safe to both reaches, basically, I think is a pretty easy fold.
It was amazing how easy it was for him. I mean, seriously, that 8, I hadn't even seen what he had drawn yet, and he'd already discarded the safe 7. So he plays safe, holds on to his lead.
And the deal will move to Julian, who is positive for the first time that we've seen today, with 30,700 points. Having just won that hand and hoping that that flow keeps flowing for him in his turn at dealer.
It's another pair to 4 pairs now. With 1 open-ended weight. Oh, now a triple. Not necessary, but Q so there's already 2 of them out. I don't know, I'd probably. But he goes with Cheapeen. All right.
On the right side, we have a triple of the white dragon in
Each.
Daniel's hand, and but still pretty far away from ready. While Brian reaches,
Waiting for the red dragon and the 7 of dots, which had just come out from the dealer's hand.
Long.
And he gets it
gets the red
Ipatsu.
dragon immediately. That'll be good for another Mungon.
Dora and Ipatsu.
That's 2 Mungons for Brian so far this game. And the dealer will move to Daniel. Daniel has some no good weights, but some nice shapes and completed blocks and potential for 3-sided weights in 2 different places right now, as well as potential for a Sanshoku mixed sequences. And 1 Dora in there. The 3, 4,
Bonzi is
5,
looking
6 shape, yeah, with the Dora is a really good shape.
has a lot of potential to become pretty neato Mashido. 4, 5, 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku are all
There's a
on the table.
3-sided weight I was talking about. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, waiting for the 1, 4, 7.
Chooses not keep Q on a long time, possibly thinking about Itsu, because that's what I would do, which is always disappointment for me. Sanzo pairs up, so now he is Ishanten with a Shabo or a Kanchan and the 3-sided weight. Rosso would be interesting to add the possibility of Sanshoku. So would also add that possibility. There are now no more Rossos to be had.
Eric on the right is 2 away from ready, but shapes are so bad. He discarded some middle tiles early instead and held on to honors and edge tiles.
Chi.
But she's this, and he'll make an Atozuke. Gonna try and backdoor his win into with the east.
Is a move I didn't see coming. Peeping doesn't
Let's
improve
table
his hand.
Brian will lock in the 1 dot as his pair and keeps the 2 for a gut shot plus open-ended.
Is now Tempai waiting for the east, and we can see none of them on the table or in a hand. So, and we got people pushing. It's a good chance that whoever draws it might let it go the
Each.
moment they get it.
Julian Tempai's now decides what to wait on, either the 6-9 or the 5-8. Or the 4-7, and goes for the 4-7 to lock in the Pinfu Yaku.
Waiting for Dora.
And there are 3 options there to wait on. The 6 bamboo
Yeah.
is a good discard, yeah. Discarding the 6 gives the Pinfu 4-7 weight, discarding the 6 gives a 5-8 no beton weight, and discarding the 5 gives a 6-9 edge weight. The fake open-ended weight.
Taking Tempai, he will definitely be throwing east if he draws it. Oh no, and Fritan, ouch. Man, that's the second time in this session we've seen that happen to somebody trying for the Otozuke draw, and they just get the wrong side of it.
Yeah, that's the risk of calling before your Yaku is decided. It's a useful tool, but it definitely backfires often.
Does still have the open-ended 4-7 weight. It's still a pretty good weight. It's Dora. He obviously doesn't have to throw Dora if he doesn't want to. Tori was safe already. Still no east. Where are they hiding? There it is.
There's one.
And he's
I don't know.
pushing.
Brian plays pretty conservative. Yeah, he
Home.
keeps it.
He's
He
gonna
keeps
wait
it
for.
and makes a
He's gonna
talkie
hope.
weight. What
Gonna
a
hope that he gets
read.
it. Oh man.
So he's
Still
definitely
pushing.
read the Atozuke of these 2 hands here and figures one of them is waiting for that east. It doesn't matter which one, but they're not out, and I'm not getting rid of this, so we'll just all wait for it.
Yeah, Daniel plays safe with the roll on there, and everybody is Tempai. Wow. Yeah,
What
some
a
pretty
hand.
impressive maneuvering there. Yeah, impressive maneuvering there from everybody to be Tempai and still not throw into everybody else's hands. So we got Daniel here with 2 Dora, one already being used in a block, completed block.
Also say sequence.
But not a lot. Well, now he's completed another sequence, but not much else going on in the hand. Ouch. Will it develop?
Julian also completes a sequence and is 1 away with probably a gut shot weight there. The middle 7 bamboo and middle Dora even, which is not
Pawan and the
ideal.
Manzu. So he's waiting for Dora there. Depending on once again, this ends up making me think of Itsu, but all right, no, he's not thinking about that at all. Still thinking about the Dora. Goes away the Q1, takes a safe, probably safer.
Yeah, I think, I mean, right now it's a middleweight, but it definitely has the potential of upgrading to an open-ended with a 5 draw.
Yeah, you do want to be able to use Dora, although now all of the Dora are in other people's hands.
Well, that doesn't seem fair. Julian's the only one who didn't get one.
Mahjong gods. All right, we got 2 gut shots here now for Daniel.
Daniel is
Still
his
looking
hand
for
is
a
just not
head.
advancing. It's just something tiles that
Like
look useful but don't really advance the hand.
one gut shot after another.
Chi.
My Eric's hand is looking, and he does chi the 5-6-7. Very interesting.
It is
Don't
interesting. So it looks
see
like he
a
must be
Yaku.
thinking flush-ish. I think he may be considering this a
Chi.
chi. All right, we are thinking flush.
Yeah, going straight for the
Is
flush.
Ishanten, yeah.
No.
Ishanten with no Yaku.
Yeah, so he's
All right.
essentially 2 away instead of. Well, now it's 1 away with the
Now
a
it's
Yaku. Mm.
possible Yaku, although he's already using 2 of the 7s
1
as cheat, and one of them is in another person's hand who has just reached. That is
Brian.
Brian, who's just reached.
Yeah, waiting for the
Waiting.
258 bamboo. Excellent weight, especially against these 2 calls, which is clearly to him a flush.
Oh, that's trouble.
That's probably what Brian was counting on. And Eric's now gotta either give up or deal in.
And another one.
That's
Having
the worst.
given up.
The thing is, the hand
Is-
is so short, it's kind of hard to give up, but there aren't that many clues in Brian's discard. It's mostly just edge tiles and honors. It's really hard to fold against, even when you have a full hand, let alone when you have a hand that's shortened from 2 cheese already.
There's an edge, one of dots there that does turn out to be safe. I guess also the Sozu is around the Dora, so it just feels like higher risk to throw things around the Dora.
Yeah, true.
And he does manage to play safe.
Yeah,
And
let's see why these
reach.
people are still in A2 and I dropped down to B1. It's excellent folding going on here.
I didn't
Move
realize you
on.
could fold in this game.
We'll move on to the south round, and our dealer again is Eric. This will be the last chance to gain some dealer points. Of course, dealer gives you 1.5 times the score as non-dealers if you can win the hand. But this is a rough hand to win with.
Let's have one Dora and
double,
one completed sequence, but yeah.
double
one
gut
other
shot, side weight. Another pot gut shot-ish, but with the Dora. So you have to draw the Dora indicator, the 7 bam, to give it a 3-sided weight. And just difficult shapes to work with. On the right, Brian is still really far away. He's like a gajillion Shanten away. So we'll move on to Julian's hand across the table. Is not looking that much better, actually. Pair of East, but you can't pull in those because it's the south round now. So Daniel's hand is maybe almost. Oh, okay. So Eric's hand has improved a lot. Daniel's hand is okay with a couple open-endeds.
Julian's hand is edging towards a. It could be Itsu. He's Ishanten for Itsu, or for just generally Ishanten, or he could move to a flush if he wanted to, but he apparently did not want to.
And
As he
Eric
threw
was in
the-
the, yeah, while we were talking about the other hands, Eric draws a lot of great tiles and now is just 1 away. She's the set 5, 6, 7 leaving, but he'll have to get rid of that 1 on the side in order to tempai with the Yaku. He's trying to pair up something somewhere.
trying to get another Dora or a 4 of cracks.
It's interesting because
Makes
holding
that's
on to the
useful for-
1, if the 1 pairs up, you're going to be pretty disappointed.
I was a little surprised to see the 4 of dots go there. This makes Ryan 1 away from ready. Ishanten. Oh, and now Daniel's hand has gotten to 10. He's Tempai with no Yaku and a bad weight. Now also Eric is Tempai waiting for Dora.
I think Daniel Daniel ended up changing his, would have ended up changing his weight, but Brian will take the win there with the 5, 6 weights. And that will lead us to Brian's turn at dealer.
And currently crushing the field.
Yeah, does a good job at keeping Eric from getting points. Just going to sort of defend his first place here. Trying to get out of, dig himself out of the hole in the standings, which is minus 101. Wow.
He's got a completed group here, and that I was just about to say that he has the 5-6-7 Soundshoku possibility, but drew the 4 of cracks. Of course, it's still not included that the 5-6-7 is not going to happen. Could still draw 7 of cracks and switch it up. Let's see, Brian, or not Brian, to his left, Julian, or to his right, Julian. The hand is progressing right along. Then Daniel's hand is already ready, waiting for south and the 6 of dots. One south has already come out, and 1 6 of dots is already in Brian's hand.
So Brian switches to full efficiency here. I'm discarding the 2. I guess, no, sorry, the north was safe, but it ends up being the full efficiency discard as well. His hand is just so close, and there's so few hints. So I think Brian just wants to fold, but after this 9 dot, there's just so little, so little information. It's really hard to. These are the kind of the situations where I try and fold and then run out of safe tiles and lose my first place. But Julian will help Brian keep his first place and also move himself up over 30,000.
Julian, starting with no completed groups.
Yeah, 4 potential blocks here and 3 floaters with an honor tile. Just trying to get stuff to stick. The 5 dot does stick to that pair of 4 dots.
Brian's hand, it starts off with a bunch of dots and a pair in the honors, not honors for him. Will he pawn that? Will not. He's not committing to a flush at the moment.
I mean, that sort of flush is cheap and it's a lot of risk, and he doesn't need to take any risk at all. It's not like it's not worth a lot of points to merit any risk, even if you're really far behind.
Also, don't get the pawn from Eric. Eric chooses not to pawn the white dragon.
Looks like Eric is hedging all pairs, a Chitoitsu hand, with 4 pairs in the hand right now. But draws the white dragon, and that will be the trigger to change the direction of his hand. Still hedging pairs, though, by keeping.
Completes another group, and now Julian is Ishanten, 1 away from ready. Shapes could improve too.
Yeah, I could fill in the 3 dot waiting for just to get ready right off the bat, waiting for the 3-6 dot, or possibly something could stick to the 4 bam and give him a possible mixed sequences, the Sanshoku hand.
Daniel, the only person with Dora is this improves his weight, and he could get the 3-4-5 Sanshoku here too. Daniel is the only person with Dora, and so he's definitely looking to. And that's Senpai. Does he reach, or does he try to wait for a better weight? He does not. He's got the Tsuji. It's right. It's Moro Hikake. Which, depending on the mahjong power you work at, he is Ishanten, or he's Tenpai. He will not wait for the Sanshoku improvement. Go straight to reach and hope maybe he can some of these other players to give up.
In this case, even if you draw the Sanshoku improvement, which in this case you'd have to draw a 3 dot or a 6 or a 9 characters or cracks, but there's no guarantee that the winning tile in the bamboos will be the Sanshoku side. So it's generally better to just reach immediately.
As it turns out, in this case, if he changed it with the 3 dot, he'd throw into the other winning hand. So, yes, you'd hate to go to all that work and then just
Deal
throw
in the
into
wrong
somebody.
side.
Yep. Might as well go for it.
Other players are just going to fold.
Wrong.
And there it comes out from Eric to Julian.
Julian gets to continue as dealer and gets an Uradora, yes? No, 5,800 gives him a few more points and pushes Eric even further down.
It looks like a big difference, but this is actually as dealer among on sumo away from first place.
Does again start
Home.
off with no completed groups,
Home.
but a lot of possibilities. He pawns Chun, the red dragon, the first chance he gets. Still San Shanten.
Mhm.
And now we are Yan Shanten.
I think he
With
was.
another Sanshoku possibility. Chun Dora Sanshoku.
You can work on your shanten counting.
Chi.
I think that was still only 2 before as well.
I guess yes. I was considering that, of course, he did want to use Dora, in which case Uwan would not be an Atama.
Okay, that's not how you count. Ishanten is not how far a mini away you are from the hand you want.
Well, but then when I said that before, when he didn't have a Yaku, you said, well, it's still Shanten.
I clarified though. I made it clear what that meant.
Well, I'm basically
Chi.
trying not to be very clear.
Well, chi to a different one away. Wait.
He is one
Chi
away.
to one away
and
now, yes.
Home.
Still hoping for Sanshoku, which gets him halfway to first
Chi.
place if he can get there.
Yeah.
But Brian is now is now ready with not the ideal weight, but
Eric is ready as well, waiting for the 5-8 bamboos across the table. Daniel is now 1 away for the all pairs hand.
Wrong.
So 2 1-aways and 2
And
tenpais, and Eric deals into
Chunky.
Brian.
This is Brian's action.
Brian cannot
out.
stop winning.
As soon as we started watching.
Maybe Brian owes us a beer or something.
Something, right? Surely we are the ones who made this possible.
I mean, in the standing, he's negative. He won the last game and still negative in the standings, so I think that there's something to be said about that.
Yeah. So, how do 9-dan rankings work?
Daniel only needs, 7,700 point hand to get into the positive range.
67 point.
67 point hand, but there's no 67 point hand in dealer. I don't think. 6,800, I guess, would be the minimum.
6,800. Yeah.
6,800 would be a 70 fu Ron win. But generally 7,700 is more likely.
We are into the second row of discards, and he still has not completed a group. And he's behind Ryan, who has gotten to Tempai and reached again. Not a massive hand, but he had no Yaku, so he figures, all right, fine, I'm first to Tempai. Gonna reach. Got a good weight.
Yeah. Now that Julian's not dealer anymore, he doesn't have such a risk of dropping into second place even. nobody is within Mangan Sumo range of Brian, so decided to just be aggressive, put the pressure on everyone else to not push with mediocre hands.
Daniel makes a relatively safe discard, safer with popping, I guess, than, say, throwing Dora, or throwing things around Dora. So he wants to aim for using Dora if he can. Now, if he gets the wrong dots, he's going to end up throwing into Brian.
相撲
Well,
Brian is
not
unstoppable, remains unstoppable for the entire duration of our viewing.
yes.
We'll
Wins
take
with
first
also
place plus 42.6. Second place is Julian with plus 10.9. Third place Daniel minus 13.7. And last place is Eric with minus 39.8. So that will drop Eric down into last place for the league in the current standings. Daniel will not change places, at least not with this game. Julian is going to remain positive, and Brian will come into the positives with that first place.
a fine performance from Brian in the last two games. The newly minted 9-dan player.
Yeah, I can see why he's 9-dan, and I'm not.
Here we see the new
There was
ranking.
yeah, they're right there.
Brian moves up. Eric and Daniel currently towards the bottom. And Julian also staying in the middle.
I think I'm going to probably end up switching out. Garth is going to stay, so
We'll do.
maybe we'll take a break. But before that, I just need to tell everyone to check out the new episode of Pros with Garth
Ooh,
and
that's
I. Yeah, Garth is supposed to post about it. Luckily, Hisato posted about it. There have been lots of great comments about the episode. It's Hisato Sasaki, probably the best mahjong player that we know.
certainly right now. Certainly at the top of his game and pretty much everybody else's game at the moment.
And the featured streamer is Tips and Tricks, who joined Garth and I at Comic Con also this year in New York. Also, very talented commentator, always commentating on our Yukon Fuji and occasionally on ARML as well. So check out Prost. It's at youtube.com/@mahjonggen. That's all for me. And
Very good.
Garth
I
is gonna stick
definitely-
around, and I'm gonna go work on other projects.
Sounds good. I definitely recommend folks check that out. Thanks again, Jen, for hopping in, and we will take a very quick break to swap around games and commentators. When we come back, perhaps more from A2 Division. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We will be starting the next game shortly. Gonna change some commentary a bit, but Jen had one more thing to mention. I know the a lot of viewers, a lot of people in the American Region Mahjong League have been involved with the WRC's online team league, the Roddle, that has recently wrapped up its regular session plays, heading to the playoffs. And you said you're going to be commentating that soon, right?
Yeah, we're actually going to be commentating from the JPML studio. And the link is right here in the chat. I can't see the start time. Did you guys see what the start time is on Sunday? It'll be the top 8 teams playing in the final. They're all listed there in the description. And yeah, it'll be like midnight. Oh, it starts at 10:45 p.m. JST. So that'll be about 8:45 a.m. Eastern time
That is
and
exactly right.
5:45 a.m. Pacific. That's when it starts. I imagine play will probably start about 15 minutes after that, so we'll start the broadcast at that time. And it'll be Garth and I, so this was sort of a practice preview to kind of get back in the swing of things because it's been a while since we commentated together.
Hopefully, we can out-talk Hiyoshi.
I'm really excited
Before-
to catch that live.
Yeah, it should be a good time. Yeah, and
I will set my alarm for 5:30 a.m. and see if I will make it there.
I mean, the good thing is it's YouTube. You know, you can watch it from your phone in bed. So, or you can just turn it on. If you turn it on and sleep, it's okay with us. The numbers help either way. And sometimes if we have the same voices that we had today, it might be something
The
easy to
soothing,
sleep to.
yeah, the soothing
Yes.
sounds of our voices.
Definitely not. Your commentary is always so interesting.
All right. Okay, yeah, so I just wanted to get that out there. Thanks for coming back, Isabella, and thank you for broadcasting, Nathaniel, and thank you for commentating with me, Garth, and I will leave it to Isabella and Garth. Thanks, guys.
You.
Have
Just
a good one.
in one more moment, I'll have this A2 game loaded. It's going to be Harrison, who's up near the top of the division, third place overall. Ricky, just behind in 5th place. Wenchen, newly minted Saikoi Sempro, and Xinlong to battle it out here. I think they're just about ready, already in progress.
All right, here we go.
Personally,
Come on.
I am rooting for Wenchen since he is a fellow Pacific Mahjong leaguer.
Come.
Good luck, Wenchen.
Oh, and there's
We're in
already
the.
so much going on. There's
Yes,
already a
we're already-
con.
We're already halfway into the halfway into the game. We're into the south round, first hand of the south round. You said you've got a con.
Home.
The 4 of bamboos over there.
Shin Long just got to Tenpai 258 pin.
Sumo.
High Tate Sumo! Oh my gosh!
Excitement for Mangan.
That's a
1,000 points
great
from all
thing to
players.
walk into. Yeah. Wow.
Immediate
High
excitement.
Tate Sumo. Nice Mangan right as we walk in.
So let's
Did
see.
not
That
reach
was Harrison is the current dealer right now.
No, that would be Shin Long.
Long is the current. Oh, Xinlong is dealer. Chen on the right, and then Riki. Okay. All right. Cool. That gives Long another turn as dealer. Hand doesn't start off immediately gigantic, but does have a bunch of open-ended group weights there. Wenchen pawns the green dragon pretty quickly. Got 2 Dora over there, so of course he would like to make this hand off if he can. Has an open-ended weight there and drops the pair of 7s of bamboos.
Wenchen pawning the Hatsu again. He had that last hand as well. Long
So he's
also
looking
has the opportunity to shift up Shatanyao with that Forso draw.
Chi.
Obviously, Wenchen is hoping to con something too if he's going to repeat last hand.
Definitely. He is currently in first place with dealer quickly catching up behind him. So he kind of wants to win this with as much value as possible, Hatsudora too, and then move on with the hand and get long off of his
Oh,
dealership.
that's the Tempai he was. Oh, that's not quite Tempai, is it? Sorry. He does have 3 Dora now. He's definitely looking to use all those Dora. And Shinlong is now 1 away from ready.
Yeah, 4-7 Mon or 3-5 So. Not the most open Ishan 10, but still pretty good and can call into it for Tanyao.
Yeah, it's a pair weight here, possibly. One of the
Interesting.
4s. Yeah, one of the 4s had already come out, so he thinks not waiting for the Pon.
ポン
When Chin gets into Tempai with that 4 Mon draw, 3 So only. 2 being held by Harrison,
And
but
it
2 in
actually
the
turns
wall.
out to be Shinlong's weight, too.
Yes.
So I forget these rules. Actually, you do have double roam here, right? So it wouldn't totally be the end of the world for Wen Chen if Sanzo got thrown, but it does look like he pretty much has to draw it. Because everybody could use it. Oh, he could change to a pair weight there. All right.
Does
Changes to
change to the
pair
pair
weight.
play. And the toy
And
upgrade.
the 2 of bamboos immediately goes across the table to Harrison. If he gets to Tempai, though, there's a possibility that it comes out. Except, oh yeah, still a possibility.
Where are
チ
the
Still
4s?
have
So
we still have 2 players waiting for the 3 of dots, and what's he going to do here? Is he going to chi and drop? He's not going to chi and drop. Oh, do we have another change here? We do. All right. Now we have
no,
both. They've both gone back to waiting for the same thing again.
they're both waiting for the 2 So. Although
Right.
Wen Chin does have the 4 upgrade, the 4 Mon as well. Like so both
Possibility.
of the remaining 4 Mon are held.
And the hand ends in a draw. So we will see
Wow,
another
Dora
turn.
3, very exciting.
Another turn as dealer for Shinlong. Does dodge a bullet there, not being drawn out on by Wen Chen.
Kept the points difference minimal, right? They both just had Ryokoku, so 1,000 points each.
Both advance a little bit. Long holds on to the red dragon, so he can pawn that. Looking also to maybe get something to group up with the Dora he has sitting off by itself. He improves to an open-ended weight in the dots.
Wen Chin just filled that 1-2 penchant with the 3. Could also
And
now
he is
upgrade that to a 4.
now Ishanten
Pairs.
too. I think he's got an outside hand here. I think he would really like to make this, outside hand and, oh, not quite. Outside hand and Sanchoku and Dora. He's got a
He
potential
could still,
monster.
if he pairs
Potential
up either
monster.
the 1 So or 1 Mon, it could still be a outside hand.
Outside hand.
Harrison also
Or,
playing very interesting with like 6 blocks at the moment.
oh my gosh, I got to check out these 6 blocks. And is always getting me on block theory. I never quite follow it. I'm a blockhead, as I guess you'd have to say.
But you're the pro. So I think one
wait,
of
wait,
those
we've missed.
means you need to play Mahjong.
By the way, we forgot to note Wenchen tempying with
No.
the I believe it's San Juan. So we got the Sanshoku, massive hand for Wenchen over there.
Sanchoku Chantadora, Mangan hand, and that makes his lead quite commanding, and it is now his dealership as well.
Extends his lead pretty comfortably at this point. How
Looking
does
at
he
the
choose to play it?
standings, go ahead,
Huh?
Garth.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
going to say, I was wondering if he's going to be sort of on the attack here. He doesn't have a massive hand to start with here, but it'll be interesting to see if he chooses to go on attack or play it safe. You were going to talk
He
about
has
the
one
standings?
Dora
He
in
does have one
hand.
Dora. Not
Yeah,
much else. He's
Wenchen
got...
is
Oh,
15th
interesting.
currently out of 20, so he is on the edge of that demotion zone. So is Shinlong in the demotion zone. We are only halfway through the season, but if they take massive force here, it would be harder and harder to get up to the promotion zone. So right now, both of them are maintaining first and second place currently, which would definitely help them. But they have 2
They're
more games
definitely
to do this
looking to
evening.
get some points here, right?
Boom.
Yes.
It's interesting that Wenchen threw the 4-3 open-ended weight as early as he did.
That is very interesting.
I wonder what he is considering aiming for here.
Was
Yeah,
that a
like,
misclick? Cutting that three so?
I think he might be looking at his hand as like, this hand is just so much garbage. I've got a good enough lead now. Shinlong's turn as dealer is over. Get the feeling he's probably just looking at this as like, you know what, I'm gonna have to give this hand up. If something crazy happens and he gets a bunch of pairs, maybe he'll start pushing back again. I mean, I think right now he's just trying to play safe. Get rid of the sort of dangerous tiles early, and later if
That's a great
somebody's
point.
pushing,
It is his dealership, but he doesn't need his dealership to fight for points right now. So it might actually be better to move the game along and for him to
I
have
think he
this
really
commanding.
decided. Yeah, I think he really decided from the third draw. Screw this hand.
We have a Toy hand incoming on the right from Ricky, and then this Ishanten hand from Harrison that has been Ishanten for about 5 draws now, and he just can't seem to get there.
Right? Yeah, he's just that is one
That's what
not
happens.
useful draw after another.
Oh, there's one. He finishes one shape. So I sorry, a 2 Shanten. I missed the many block as well. The extra 9.
So yes, he is currently Ishan 10 with a good possibility for weights there, and
Yeah.
you can use Dora.
Potential reach Pinfu Ipeko, Dora 2.
Pretty
Or
much
Takame.
everything gives him. All right, so yeah, he's now his Menpeen, Dora, and he could Smo for points, big points. So I think this is where Wenchen's play is probably paying off for him. He's not gonna. Well, all right, game over. Instant throw by Shinlong. Would prefer
by Ricky, I believe.
Okay. Shinlong?
Shinlong, it was Shinlong, sorry.
Yes. He would not have wanted to do that, since you were just pointing out he wanted to save some points for avoiding relegation. That pushes him down. Yeah. Pushes him down to
Harrison
just
is only
even.
6,000 away now, about 5,400 away. So
right,
that's an easy 330 direct to be demoted to 3rd place. And actually, right now, what Wenchen is probably thinking is 2nd place is at 30,000. It is South 3, so he probably wants to see if he can get everyone under 30,000 to get that floating Uma, those extra 5 points.
Point. He does seem to be pushing hard here for a quick, easy win. Not a lot of points in the hand at the moment, so he's obviously just trying to kick this dealership to the curb.
Very interesting how there's only one Dora in anyone's hand right now, and that is Shinlong's. There's 160.
Oh, and now we do get another one with the Chi, but wow. He throws it right off the bat.
He's like, this is useless in this hand.
Yes,
There's another one. They were all together.
Way not to Chi Wenchen. No, not Wenchen. Way not to Chi Harrison.
Anko's up the 2 mon. That is exactly what Wenchen wants. Decides to keep it. Harrison now has 5 out of 8 of Wenchen's weights, and he has one of his own weights. So there's only 2 left. And
that
we
is-
have a Chinitsu hand developing on Shenlong's side.
Oh, that's large, yes. Oh, but he keeps getting Dora, which he just does not need.
Interesting. Harrison rejects Tempai by cutting that 789 shape. He was waiting on 6-pin and decides that he is out of here, it looks like.
He could still get back to Tempai.
With a 6-pin, he could get to 7-mon, 5-mon.
Right.
Shabo.
So all
Pinzu
of the-
just looked dangerous for Shenlong right
so
now.
yeah, he's not going to throw any Pingzu to him, especially since that would allow for Chi if he wanted it. He is going to take Tempai. He's waiting for what he must realize is not very many 6s, but win goes to Wenchen, who's just trying to end the game as quickly as he can. And if he's
And
lucky,
1,000 points off the right person.
does get it off the right person. So the plan may be working exactly as you pointed out. He's trying to get all the players below 30,000 get the extra UMA points. He can win this hand, or if let's see, who's the other person? If Shenlong wins the hand, not Shenlong, if Ricky wins the hand, that also ensures probably that he is going to have all of the plus points.
Right, and he actually has a really good hand, Wenchen, right now. Harrison also looking to get into second place at least 5,400 points is still the cutoff to get to 30,000, and that is not very hard for dealer to get. You know, just need 3 on 30.
Exactly,
Does
yeah.
have one Dora in his hand, but can't pair it quite yet. But
So
Wenchen's hand is progressing very fast. He is already Ishanten with 2 Ankos of a 4-so, 7-so, and a pair of 3-so. He's just... This could be a San Anko hand, actually.
Could get there. I do think he's probably going to Chi Tempai as soon as he can, though. This could turn into a monster, except for the fact that he doesn't need a monster. And I feel like he might just go for the cheap win if he can get it. And that is still not Tempai.
I agree. That's interesting. I think, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, to cut the 2-so, since he already has all of the 4s, and a 1-so would break the Tanyao. Harrison cutting 1 mon.
One other thing here, I can never help to get this close to Suanko and then not just keep pushing for that. So I think keeping the pair of 6s and the 3s of bamboos as possible. Oh, he just gonna pull. All right, so he's just gonna go for the win, which it is in his current standings. I think that is a certainly very solid move. Got
almost Tempai for Honitsu for Ricky. Waiting on Chun and Haku. Ooh, Anko's up the Dora Chun. This is massive now. Chun Honitsu, Dora 3. So that's already a Haneman.
This is a tough decision. All right, yeah, I would probably go for the Shabo myself, although there is one Haku already out, but boy. All right, so he goes, he's got a possible monster there. Could conceivably shoot himself back into third place.
Toy shift for Wenchen. Now waiting on 3-so 5-pin. Oh, there's the Haku. Will it come out?
Oh,
it does.
It does. That is a huge
that is massive.
win. That puts him into second. No, not quite.
Not
quite second, yeah.
Quite. Very, very close. But he did a good job for himself. And
Was
unfortunately, that means Shinlong did get pushed down into fourth with that deal in.
Shinlong, also known as Unluck. I just noticed his name.
Wenchin did manage to keep everyone else below 30,000, takes those extra 5 UMA, ends up with a giant 45.1 plus points. Harrison, a very respectable negative 5.4. Ricky, negative 11.7. And Shinlong with negative 28, which is not a terrible fourth place, honestly. There has been way worse.
I'd been fighting for first and then was fighting for a positive score and got unlucky at the very end. Two unlucky throws.
Well, with
And
this,
it does move Wenchen considerably. The standings.
yeah,
Daniel,
Wenchin.
not Daniel. Sorry. Yeah,
Harrison?
Wow, Harrison is also still very no problem for Harrison, even with that small minus. It was a second place, but not too big a minus.
Harrison playing very consistently, 2 firsts, 2 fourths, but 7 seconds. So maintaining slowly but surely positive points throughout is definitely one way to get your way to the top. With
Indeed.
only 12 games being played, being plus 84 is actually not very high, I want to say. Maybe
I was
I'm
going to
being
say
crazy.
the first, well, the top players in the A2 league right now are kind of after 12 games, that is not a very high delta on the players there. They're all pretty bunched up, and in fact, even the very middle players right now, Julian at plus 17, Brian at plus 14, and I think you could even say Kenyon and Barry at minus 14 and 16 have good shots at making it to the border for moving up into A1.
Definitely.
You know,
Kenyon,
that's
longtime A1 player, so definitely looking to get back up there. And she can do it with a couple good games because once you just really need positive points.
yeah. I mean, two winning games, and you're definitely within, at least within spitting distance, if not actually already overtaking the people currently at the on the border at like plus 50. So you got a really tight race here in A2. And actually, at the bottom of A2, at the very bottom, they've got some big comebacks that need to happen for Eric Riley and Jin Tong. But certainly for the players, I'd say for the top 20 players, 20, top 15 players, seriously, everybody is still in the running for possibly moving up into A1.
Well,
It's kind of
even
an exciting.
Claire at negative 33, who is currently 16th, so in demotion zone, is only negative
Right,
33. That is one
right,
first
negative
place away
33,
from
right?
being 0. Yes, that is
Being
that is one
positive,
first place from being away to 10th place.
right?
So
And
it
then
is
also
anyone's game.
right from there, one place away from the border too. So yeah, I'd say you have a good straight down into the current relegation zone. You have still possibly make it into the moving up zone. Exciting. Yeah.
All right, game 2 starting now, featuring Harrison, Wenchin, Ricky, and Shinlong. Last game of their session.
Oh, will it play out?
We have Ricky as first dealer, who was able to slide into second place with that massive Honitsu hand. Last game. Let's see how he starts off. Not a terrible hand, not an exciting hand. Has one East, looking to pair that up to get double ton, which there is no other East currently on the board, so that's still possible. Lots of just Yakuhai, so seeing what can pair up and what can't. Harrison has a pair of Hatsus on the other side, and shapes are filling in. Anything interesting to you?
Well, first of all, I was trying to make sure I had everybody's names, so I think
So
I've caught up on that respect. And now that I'm looking at everybody's hands, yes, we got 2 Dora over there in Xin Long's hand, right? Definitely looking to recover some points after that performance from last game. And 1 Dora over there in, that would be Wenchen's hand, wouldn't it? Oh, and then just improved the weight too. So we've got Wenchen is now E Shanten or Dan Shanten. Owns the Hatsu.
Lian Shanten.
Is now
The 2 Dora is very exciting. He has a 2, 3, 5, 6, 6, 7 in pin. So lots of upgrades in that.
yeah, lots of possibilities there.
地位
And cheese.
Going for the the Tanya shift, but deals into Harrison's Hatsudora 1.
Harrison, I'm sorry. Harrison was over there. Sorry. I am confusing. I thought I had the names down. So let's see. Now we got
Wenchin as dealer, Harrison
dealer.
as our Shimo,
All right, good.
yeah, as our Toyman, and Ricky as our Kami. And we have Ricky starting off with a pair of Haku, Harrison with a pair of Hatsu, and Wenchin discarding 3 1-sos in a row. 3 birds.
Ouch. Ouch.
Ouch.
40 just throwing him under the bus.
It
he does
look like a very Tanya hand, and Wenchin did end up drawing Dora, so it's probably not all that bad.
Although now the Atama ends up being not Dora. That's not. You could still throw 4 or 7 bamboos, be Ishanten, and hope for an improvement. Oh, he goes that way. All right. So yes, the 4, 5, 6 bamboos is a very strong shape. There's a lot of possibilities for improvement there. And he's already got a weight in the dots. And look at that right off the bat. It does improve, although he still doesn't have a way to use Dora.
He might end up needing to throw Dora, and then he could potentially go Ipeko, Tanya Pinfu Ipeko. It's always hard for me to understand, like, when is it okay to throw Dora when you have no Akkas? Because Dora is only +1, but if you have to keep it and you go back Shanten to maintain, or to
I would say,
maintain your Dora.
all right, now
Well,
the
never
point
mind.
is moot. Yeah.
Point no longer exists.
Yeah. But I would say, if he had gotten to Tenpai, even with the E-pin, it's his turn as dealer. I think I would reach there throwing Dora.
リーチ
Or actually, you don't even have to reach, because he could throw Dora and wait for Supine to improve to a better hand. But I think for Tenpai, especially as your turn as dealer, you can always throw Dora. You can justify throwing Dora in that situation, I would say.
I want to point out lots of things have happened. Hold on.
Right.
Lots of Tenpais have happened.
He has been beaten to reach.
Chitoy waiting on Dora for Harrison, Ricci. There is a 6-so,
リ
I
ーチ
think, yes, 6-so Tonki weight across that he folded. And then Wenchin has now
reached with the Supine. So he did get to possibly Mentan Pin Ipeko. Oh, it takes the massive.
Oh my gosh! Ipatsumo on the Takame! Wow!
Massive. Oh my gosh, this is a huge hand.
Ipatsumo Pinfu Ipeko Tanya Dora.
Okay. Oh, how unfortunate. He didn't get the Uda Dora for even more points. But yes.
That's okay. 18,000 points is 18,000 points.
And that just shoots him back into the lead. And, of course, immediately makes him getting all of the Uma points that much more of a possibility. Huge hand.
I kind of want him to go for some kind of silly thing right now. I don't know what silly thing. Maybe a sushi. But
yeah. He's only got 1 pair in the wins so far, but and actually, all right, we've already got. Oh, he didn't Shaw, so it's already pretty much a moot point again. Although, all right, so let's see, Oh, it's how can I not think of the one that's all the letter tiles?
Suiso? Suiso.
Suiso.
Oh,
Suiso, yes,
Anko's
yes.
of the
Oh, Anko's the
Haku. So
Haku.
maybe
Okay, well
he is
that's
going Suiso
well,
without
he's already
pawning the
missing 2 of
west.
the Shahs, so yeah, or 2 of the
Yeah,
Wests. But
interesting.
certainly Honitsu, a flush could be a possibility.
We might see a con coming from Harrison of the 6-0. He just pulled all 4 of them. That is also potentially Sananko. He has con of those 6-0.
It does have a bunch
Lots
of
of pairs.
see how that develops. Oh my gosh, another East. All right. He does need to point. So having missed the shot, the Wests, he's kind of in a bit of a hole there. And 2 of his, another one of his pairs is the Dora indicator, right?
I think
So
this
he's
is very interesting, and I think it's only playable like this because he's in such a commanding lead right now. I don't think he would send it like this if the game was any tighter.
all right. So we've got another pair. Oh, and that makes him throw. That makes what is that? Harrison. Harrison throws Dora. His hand is still closed, meaning it could possibly turn into Suanko, which is something that
Getting
I start
close.
immediately. I start thinking about Suanko many Shanten away from Suanko.
Will Harrison open? Does not. He is dreaming. Could have made the Tanyao shift and decided absolutely not. Anko of the
Absolutely not. I
9
think
pin.
he's. I think he might pawn though, because so if he can pawn here and get to Tempai on his own, then he draws it, he does get San Uncle, which is
There's also
a consideration.
another
Oh, but now he has
con.
2 Dora.
Oh my goodness.
That
One
gives
Shindra.
Harrison 2 Dora. So now I think he does pawn no matter what. Because at first I was saying, well, we'll never reach. Holy cow! Well, all right. So we're not going to get immediately.
There is a San Anko win actually right here though.
Wow.
Richie Pot San Anko misses every Ura. But that's still pretty good.
Oh, boy.
No
Yeah,
Suanko greed.
right. I would not have been able to play that. I would not have won on there myself because I definitely like Suanko. I want Suanko.
This is actually a very interesting hand for Harrison as well. This looks kind of Chitoy, looks also kind of Toy, honestly. Because you can Yakuhai the Hatsu. You can also toss out the Tumon.
Right. The one consideration for me there is I think you got to figure Dorda, unless the Ryamwan, unless the 2 of cracks piles up early, I think you're going to end up wanting to go for Honitsu here because Dorda is Ropeen.
Oh.
I think he's probably gonna. I think he's probably. This is a good chance to drop the Ryamwan. Oh, Haku, of course. There's already one of those out. To give away your hand too early. If he starts throwing out the Ryamwans, then people are going to think, oh, looks like a flush. But there's not a lot of Papeens for him to get at the moment. Oh, that's not helpful.
No Hatsu's out yet. They're both still in the wall. So he could still draw it himself and really conceal what his hand is.
That would be huge. Papeen, you got to cheat that, I think.
You have to take it.
Oh, well,
but it gets pawned.
Unless somebody else pawns it. So that's definitely gonna slow him down a bit. Well, and so now this kind of just pushes him back away from Honitsu.
Right. Oh, there's one Hatsu. Does take it. Will he cut away from that
first?
7-8?
Probably Cheapeen first, and if he gets a Q-peen, then he feels like, oh, okay, now I can move back to Honitsu. But oh, he's gonna go for it. All right.
He goes for the greed. Perhaps he's considering he can maybe Chankan the 8 pin from Ricky, who is also going Honitsu, although is still a couple Shanten away. Let's see what's going on
Testing.
over here.
So ideally, yes, Harrison is looking for cheaping or cuping 7 or 9 dots. Get Tempai. Down 1. Well, would have played
Oopsies.
cheap, but he's going for big points. Sampin helps.
Ricky.
Sampin helps Ricky, right? And now Ricky is Ishanten.
Now, I don't remember. Did he have the tunes, the red dragons, when Wenchen discarded it turn 3, or did he draw the second red dragon after the fact?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I do not remember that myself. It would be interesting to know whether he had let that pass or not.
Harrison also Tempai right now on 2-5 pin. Maybe somewhere also hoping to Con.
Yeah, that is actually. I think Wenchen is actually. Oh wow, he has to think about throwing
Also
Doors. He
Tempai.
throws Sampin instead, which does give Tempai, cheaper Tempai, to Ricky. No, sorry, to Harrison.
Harrison, yes, sorry, yes. So Wenchen now is waiting 5
Just the
pin.
5, just the 5. I mean, he's thrown the 7 already, so it's kind of hurting him on the open-ended weight possibility.
But that's good because he was in Furryton because he discarded the 8 much earlier. That was pawned by Ricky.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh, there's the 8. All right, so now he has to feel when you see that last 8. You have to feel like, okay, Q-Peen, there's just no way anybody else is using it. When when Harrison threw the Q-Peen, you have to think that nobody else has Q-Peen here. It's either in the wall or somebody has one that they're going to have to get rid of at some point. Oh, he switches to
Harrison
Sean.
decides to switch it. West weight, best weight. Don't know what to say.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah,
Gee.
yes. That's just the
Sumo.
math, isn't it?
That is the math because it wins. He switches and he next shot wins it.
That was the right decision. 2,600 points from each player to push him above 30,000.
And he gets to repeat his dealership, which is what really matters.
Absolutely. So now he is within 1 Mongon draw of Wenchen.
Shinlong has an amazing hand, which is almost Chanta from Haipai. Ipeko, maybe Sanchoku if he can get like edge Manzu tiles, or he could just get a 2-pin and Ricci immediately or something like that. He's missing a head.
Yeah, boy. The 2-pin, or even just the E-pin. E-pin would be nice too because then it's Dora Dora and Pinfu Ipeko.
Oh right, Dora, Ricci, Pinfu, Ipeko, Dora too. Easy, right?
So he has a lot of possibilities there, but like if he could draw the Yanpin, that would be a really nice possibility for. Oh, but now you have that. All right, well, so take Tempai
Each.
and or reach, yeah, or you could reach. So I guess he's figuring. Look, my hand is not really going to change from here on out. I'm not going to get 4-pin and then throw for the better weight. I might as well just keep. This is my shape. I've got Ipeko. We have a battle between him and the dealer.
Harrison has been dominating for about 3 turns and decided, well, someone else retreat, so I might as well retreat now as well. Ricky, not out of the game yet, decides to throw a 6-0, which was safe to Shinlong, but not quite safe to Harrison. Also waiting on that 3-pin, oof, which does deal into Harrison.
Harrison wins the Battle of the Kanjans. And gets to continue his dealer and gets a couple pairs to start right off the bat.
Sozu Honitsu?
Yeah, that's looking like it to me. Depending on what his draws are, you know. I mean, if he gets Pinzu around the Dora or you know, Chiwan groups up nicely with something, it's hard to let that go. Kanchan, not too exciting.
Ricky already pawns the west, looking for probably a quick hand, not one with much value. Has Dora acceptance. But Harrison does draw the Dora. Doesn't really fit, but will keep it. Wenshin has two complete shapes and a half a shape.
Gives him another Kanchan, Ryankan. 579 Pinzu. Oh, that's Dora too, though.
1
It's a good
What if-
Ryankan. It's the best one.
as much
Dora
Ryankan as
Ryankan.
you can have. And there's a possibility of Sanchoku up there, depending on how things. Oh, and here comes Hakupon.
ポン
Right,
I
we
really
are now
like
Ishanten.
Ricky's hand right now because he opened with West, which is his Yahoo high, and he can now chi for 7-pin, which is Dora acceptance, and his pair can either be the one, so he can draw the 2, he can draw the 3, like really wide acceptance here.
Does look good for him continuing his turn as dealer. The Itsu is also a possibility here for Harrison. Ooh, a risky
Yes.
Uso, but that does not work out for Harrison.
A 4 or 6 so would be very tasty in Harrison's hand.
One of them comes out from Riki.
Wenshin, I think Ishanten waiting on a 3-6 pin or a 9.
Okay.
Interesting.
And
There's your 4 so now waiting on 6 so for Honitsu and Su.
リーチ
just missed a Sanzo from Riki, and now is up against a reach. Not
2-5 Mon. Richi
quite
Pinfu,
Sanchoku.
Dora 1.
ロン
There's the Sanso.
Wenchen throws into the one player he really did not want to throw to. Was up first place, and Harrison gets to continue as dealer. Harrison
900 points on the table.
Harrison really stretching out this turn as dealer to establish dominance at the top of the standings, perhaps. We're still early in the game, but this will definitely add points to his standings towards the top.
Well, right now Harrison is only 26 points away from being
Boom.
top of A2. So any first place will probably put him there. So he's looking to take that top number 1 position. And if he can kind of take this dealership and really run with it and kind of make his lead commandable, no one should be able to touch him.
Here he's completed another group, so he is now San Shanten with the possibility of using Dora and also good Anyao possibilities.
Shin Long also looking to maybe be shifting to a Honitsu. A second Anko for Harrison though. There's been so many Ankos and pairs like these games tonight. It's very crazy.
Yeah, it is interesting to see how many that adds to. Oh, he's not going to go for flush.
Well, drawing Dora does kind of put a wrench in your plans sometimes.
Does, yes, throw you off a bit. And now he is going to, yes, keep getting rid of Sozu. It was interesting to me that Harrison chose to drop 5 of dots, while the 3 and so now he does have an Atama. It was interesting to me that the way he chose to look for that Atama with both the 2223 combination and the 6668 combination.
チ
Holding on to now he gets to Chi for Tanyao. As Tanyao set, he can still use Dora. Goes for the cheap hand here to just continue as dealer. Perhaps he's thinking he'll con Dianzo. Con? Quit.
Ooh, does not very interesting play
Don't.
from Ricky. draws the Tumon, decides completes the shape, does not decide to use it. So maybe was considering Chitoy there. But Harrison wins another hand, stretches his
And
lead
that'll,
even
yes,
further.
keeps him going.
Tanya Dora 1, I believe, was the hand. I don't quite remember.
Yes,
This
I
is
think you
also
were
an
right. Oh no,
excellent high pie.
it was just Tanyo because he was waiting on possibly Dora, but I think he just won on the other side of it. But he does have a
Oh, the
great start
six.
hand here. Starting, he's got great acceptance, like word I just learned from you now for Dora. So he can accept Dora. He's got 2 groups already completed. Now he has an Atama. He's Ishanten.
We
Not.
have the battle of
Should-
the pairs, the honor pairs. We have a Sha Pei pair set for Shinlong and a Haku Chun pair set. Now a Nan for Wenchen. This looks very interesting. I'm not sure what he's going to do with this.
It's interesting
But
also to
talk.
see the acceptance by, and now we switch to possibly Tanyao if we get an improvement in the Manzu. If the Ropin is our Atama, goes that way with it. All right, so that's interesting. So he keeps the 4, 5, 6, 7 and the 3, 4, 5, 6 as the sort of, now he's Tempai. What is the decision here?
I would take this Tempai 6-9.
He keeps the wide acceptance shapes together.
Decides
Some
not to go
interesting
for the
plays.
Shabo and hopes to get a Pinfu out of this.
The thing is, there's just so much there that
Each.
makes an open-ended weight like this. Interesting that he does not choose to wait to get Dora. He does have a good weight there. He's thrown the 6 earlier. Ooh, the 5s have already come out. As it
All of the
happens,
8s are pretty much being held. There's only one left
3
in
of
the
the
wall.
8s. So he's
Dong.
drawing surprisingly thin, but there it is. Wenchen has
On the epots.
has found a little bit of unluck, even though that's not his name.
Wenchen maybe thought that the 6 was safe. A lot of the 5s were out. There's probably no way he needed this. That's exactly what Harrison planned. The devil, the mastermind.
Totally sucked him in. And
Harrison
again,
was
boy, his hand.
playing lots of
Okay.
Tonpus
Huh?
earlier on. If people are on the Armel Discord, Harrison was streaming some speed Tonpus earlier to prepare for this.
Wow. I guess that works.
I guess so. Harrison
He is
really taking this commanding lead, almost knocking Wenchen below 30k. So he's now going to take all of the Uma points, the tasty, tasty Uma points.
so yummy. He's got another good hand developing here. He's possibly Sanchoku. We've got the 3, 4, 5, or possibly 2, 3, 4, and Dora. What does he do with the 6 of dots here? He does get rid of Dora. All right, we're moving towards Tanyao for Harrison.
Dora is hard to use, and this is a very easy Tanyao shift, so maybe he was weighing the pros and cons of trying to work Dora into his hand.
There you go.
And the upgrade value.
Does have an Ishanten choice here, which he does not take. Interesting. So he chooses not to go for the Tanyao Ishanten. I guess, all right, it was still Ishanten, except that you have the Hanshan that is not the one you wanted. All right, so he does take Tempai, but he is waiting for Kanyanzo with no Yaku.
3
And
of
also-
the Liangsos are also... We can see them. He cannot see them. He can only see one. But it
Yes,
does look like the hand... Go ahead.
He's definitely looking to change his weight. He does take, okay, yes, good. He takes the Yanman, he has the 2, 3, 4, 5 in Manzu, and of course the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Sozu. Lots of possibilities for weight improvement here. And Sanchoku is still a thing, even though we know that most of the Ryanzos are not really a thing. Ryanu 1,
There's the
Like if
last
he gets
Yangso.
out,
Will he break his his chi toy
will
attempt?
not.
And he does discard it.
There will be no 2, 3, 4 Sanchoku.
So what is going on with Shinlong's hand right now? Still looking to find all of his shapes.
リーチ
Oh, that's a very wide weight. A 258, so reachy, despite all the
Despite
Tusos
all the
being
twos being out.
dead. Um,
So yes, he's
3/8
definitely
sos are
hoping.
also out.
Oh my gosh,
You
yeah.
know, we've seen them draw. We've seen him draw the last tile before, so it's definitely possible. 5 so.
Did happen, yeah. Before he was drawing thin, and he still managed to get it. The one he's hoping for, at least to draw, the Jianzhou, of course, that's not a thing anymore. But and I don't think it's going to be coming out from Ricky for any reason, unless for some reason he thought Sanzo created a wall and maybe Jianzhou was safe. But I think he's got to just draw one Paso and one Uso, right?
Correct. That's what I'm counting as well.
There's just one
Just
Paso.
one.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
right. Great catch, Nathaniel.
There, all right. Will there
Well,
be?
if I think no
We're
one
coming to the end
else
of the.
exactly is close to Tenpai here, so I think worst case scenario, we're just going to end up in Ryukoku. Harrison gets 3,000 more points, and we now have 1,800 plus 1,000 sticks in the middle, which is crazy.
There are a lot of points out there. He does get another 3,000 from everybody, though, pushing Wenchen ever closer to minus points. And finally, for once, Harrison does not start with a barn burner. See
No,
if he
this
can
looks
turn it into
like
something.
this is a slightly better than average hand, but still average.
He's going to need a little help to make this hand turn into something.
Actually,
But
Shinlong's hand is the strongest right now. It has 3 finished shapes
Ishanten.
and 2 almost shapes. Yeah.
We're
Ishanten.
Ishanten here, yeah. Oh wait, oops, so that's 788. Sorry. So we're Dianchanten. 788
He
in the
has a
Manzu.
hand.
No.
Yeah. Well, he has 2 pairs at the moment, so
Now there's
Oh.
a triple and 2 pairs still. So he is now Ishanten. Hoping for Dora. Well, that's his open-ended weight. He'd probably like to wait for that. Although Sha has not come out yet. The Shabo weight. Shabo weight.
Ricky is
Would be a
holding
winner.
1 currently, maybe holding on just for a little bit longer because that is his wind. Oh, but gets another
Big
pair.
change to the Tanyao. And another pair for Harrison, giving him Ishanten in the Chi Toitsu.
Dora is 4 so, and Ricky has 1. It's not really fitting all that well in his hand. Wenshin has 2. Definitely can use both as a pair, but we'll see. Oh, that definitely helps. A nice 3, 4, 5. Decides to use as a penchant, and the 4 is now his pair. And is also Ishanten with Pinzu weight.
Is waiting.
Or
He
a
chooses.
Dora.
It's interesting. So the option there, he could have chosen to drop Iso and have the open-ended weight in Sozu.
4, 3, 6 so.
4-3, yeah, 3-6 Sozu. Both options, yeah. Of course, that way, then if he draws another Dora, then he can't use it as easily.
Like Harrison is kind of committing to that chi toy, considering he dropped his 7 Mon very early. And Wenshin kicking
Each.
himself, drawing and discarding 3 5 so's. But Shinlong has found himself Tenpai, drawing the Dora for Richi pin, not pin, just Richi
Pon.
Tanya Dora 1, waiting on 2-5 pin.
Oh, an interesting pawn from Harrison. I figure that is really him just playing defense against the Ipatsu.
リーチ ロン
Oh,
And
Wenchen decides to
Wenchen
fight
gets
it.
to Tenpai, but he does not have the luck. And that is a tough turnaround for Wenchen, having gotten the Impachi, 18,000 as dealer, and now back below 30,000.
Well, imagine if he did not have that 18,000 as dealer. He would be much lower.
The thing is, I imagine if he had not had that, he probably wouldn't have been pushing when he was.
Perhaps.
And yeah, there might have been some other opportunities for playing defense. So it's just been a string of bad luck for Wenchen. That does finally end Harrison's turn as dealer.
Shinlong did win the extra 3,000 points that was in the middle for that round. So
pushes
that did
him.
put him ever closer to 30K.
It's a huge win for Shinlong.
Looking at the standings, remember Shinlong is currently the only one of the 4 in demotion zone. So he really is the one that is pushing, or should be pushing, kind of the hardest here to get the points, to get to, at maybe not first place. Well, he could get to first place if he gets a very good dealer run, but at least second place, he would like to maintain this.
Shinlong currently, yes, 19th out of 20. And like
18th.
we were saying before, because everybody, like as far down, like you said, as Claire in 16th is pretty relatively close. He does have some ground to make up to get back to above the border for relegation. But here is Ishanten, having dropped Dora. He does have good acceptance for Manzu and Pinzu if, to improve his weight.
Wenchen actually not quite Ishanten. He is playing 6 blocks, but has Itsu potential in the Pinzu.
We have a fantastic improvement in the weight here for
ポン
Shinlong. All right, we're back to Shabo over there, but we do have the 3-sided weight in the Manzu.
This is
Shabo
very good.
and
This is
Shabo and open-ended.
Shabo and Ramen. Yeah. One.
Seems like people. Oh, there's only one
Gee.
Dora out. Okay.
リーチ
And that's Chinitsu Tenpai for Harrison. On a
Each.
very awkward 6-mon.
Not the best weight. I'm sure he's looking to change it.
4-7-mon now is
スモ
on the Epot Sumo for Ricky on the 4-7-mon. Reach Epot Sumo Pinfu. No Ura, but that is still a very nice 1326 for him.
Big win for him and a big ending of Shinlong's turn as dealer. It's got to be a little bit of a disappointment. And starting off with 3 Easts right off the bat. There's your Yaku.
3 East and a pair. 1 finish
And a
shape.
pair now.
And a round min. Wow.
He is a nice Danshanten. Away from ready.
These kinds of hands are always so hard for me because sometimes you have this beautiful hand, but you know that like it can only accept so many upgrades, and those specific tiles don't come, and I'm just throwing out middle tiles of other suits, and then I finish another shape in my discard.
I can feel that pain too, because you feel like, oh, okay, this is already decided, and then you play in that direction, then you're like, oh my god, I should have chosen this direction at some point. All right,
Let's
so
see,
now
what will
if he
do?
does, if we want to say Dora is, definitely want to use Dora. All right, now he's saying that the 4 of cracks is going to be his Atama. and accepting the kanchan in the sozu. And worst case scenario, if he does draw something that's not if he does draw besides Roso, he does have Ton as Yaku, so he doesn't have to reach. Wow,
Right.
most of the Q pins are already out, so I think he might.
Reach.
all right. Well, reach.
Reach.
And most of the
Reach,
Q
Ton,
pins.
maybe Dora.
Oh, yeah, there's only one more Q pin left. So if he wins, it's probably going to be on Dora. We can already see two of in other people's hands, but you got to think they're probably not going to throw those out. So he's drawing to 3 remaining tiles at the moment.
Very interesting hand for Harrison. He needs a lot of the same tiles. So he needs like either 3 mons. Now he needs less. Lots of pairs. So the 4, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8 shape. Very interesting. Needs quite a few tiles. Let's see. What's the thought? Is someone trying to pawn? Oh, maybe Harrison was going to pawn. I see.
Right now, let's see. We've got so this is Ricky's dealer, and Wenchen is okay. Wenchen is trying to think about how to come back. Nobody has drawn any of the difficult 6-9s yet.
Wenchen now Ishan 10, looking for a head. And finds one. Will he take this Ricci Pinfu? Dora 1, waiting on 4, 7, so. That many of them are gone. So decides Sadama.
Interesting. You have to figure he's looking to give up on any dangerous tile. Otherwise, he would be reaching here. There's not a lot to change the hand to.
Harrison kind of changing to Chitoy, Ishan 10, waiting on 286. Anko's up the 9 mon. Doesn't love that.
Oh, wow. Well, so now if he gets to Tempai with something weird, Shiso comes out. Oh, but the Sumo. Or
just let the dealer
Ricky,
Sumo for $4,000.
1,000 points. Uradora is good. And we have some bouncing around of the scores here. So Ricky back up above 30,000.
Shinlong still 21,000. Big swing for Wenchen. Started at 48,000, now lost 30,000 at 18.7.
A good starting
Harrison
hand.
still sitting pretty. Yeah, good starting hand. Absolutely.
Starting hand for Ricky. 2 completed groups plus a lot of possibilities. There's another completed group looking for an Atama head or the Kanchan. Look for some. Well, there's the Atama, but not the greatest weight. It is very early.
Ideally, he gets like a 6-pin and he can reach you on 5-8.
That would be ideal. Although, once again, this is one of those situations. Oh my God, that is exactly what I was thinking.
That's a great draw.
Right? Gets that, and then Nyanzo, and then your uncle.
Well, Liangso gives him the Itsu upgrade potential for the 147 weight.
Yeah, and like you say too, the Ropin now also is Tanyao. Oh no!
Oh!
Ouch! Oh, stupid Mahjong gods.
That's Mahjong. Oh no.
That is really frustrating. I like in so many situations that's just a good play. your hand improves, and you're like, oh, look how great that play was, and then that happens, and you're just like, oh, disappointment. Ugh.
Ricky keeps the 5-mon, which now allows him to draw any extender to that tile and cut the 9-so for a Tanya shift as well. So lots of
Ricky
options here.
he just has so many possibilities, and then for none of them to like materialize is just how frustrating. All right, so he gets the
Well,
crappy
there's
weight.
one of them.
Right, that's you've played as hard as you could to make the good play. You get to that reach, you got to take it.
You play the game, and the game fought back hard.
The game just crapped on you. What a pisser. Anyway, that was a nice play from. I thought it was a nice play by Ricky, but he just got beaten by Wenchen's Luck. Is Wenchen's Luck back?
We'll see. It is his second dealership. He really wants to get another one of those dealer Hanemans to get him back over. He only needs 8K to get over 30,000, but he would like to probably win a bit more.
Not the greatest starting tiles for that. He does have one Dora, but not much else. A couple pairs and one open-ended weight. Better stuff over there in Harrison's hand, or potential anyway, I think.
We have a Battle of the Dragons. We have a Haku pair for Harrison and a Hatsu pair for Ricky.
But looks like Ricky might be, or no, Harrison might be thinking Honitsu, so that Hatsu might not come out very soon.
That is definitely a Honitsu hand. Actually,
it
could even be
Hatsu,
a Honitsu Suanko if we're going to be throwing around these giant hands.
Yes, dream. Keep dreaming, everybody. Dream of Suanko.
Dreams are only dreams if you let them stay dreams.
That's a good point. You can't become reality if you give up on them.
I should take that note more. I never believe in my Yakuman. Never.
Yes, I'm sure that has contributed to my my perhaps overperformance in Yakuman, but that certainly also contributes to my overperformance of throwing into people's other hands.
There is always a downside to the upside.
There sure is.
Oh, that's a great connector for Wenchin.
To use the Dora, so he's still looking for one more block.
Boom.
Interesting. Ricky decides to not pawn the first Hatsu.
Oh, wow. But that's going to be Tenpai now for Harrison.
On the second Hatsu for Honitsu Toi Toi Haku.
Boom.
Ricky, you need to take this. There's no more left.
He did, yeah. So he's waiting for an Atama. It's not likely that he'll throw the 7 or 9. So he's probably safe on that front, but the other 7 and 9 are out there. Of course, he could still change the weight here, but then that cheapens the hand. I would imagine he's probably going to stay with the expensive hand.
This is Ishanten for Wenchin. Oh, okay. Keeps the 3. Waiting on 3 Montanki. For Hatsu Dora 1.
And that's Tenpai.
That is Tenpai.
How will people respond to this Tenpai? Sanpin looks dangerous.
Sanzo is completely gone. It is an Anko in Harrison's hand and a Dora connection for Ricky that he is currently using.
Sanzo, that's right. Sanpin, yeah, okay. So yeah, Sanpin. I thought maybe he might have to given pause by Sanpin there, but I guess he didn't really have any other safe tiles.
Sumo.
The Sumo for Rick.
For Shinlong.
Long. Wow. Wasn't paying attention to that at all.
Me neither, actually. I didn't even notice that he was Tenpai.
Did not notice, yeah.
I was so focused on this Honitsu Toi Toi.
look at this monster in the making for Harrison. Right off the bat,
This is
Sanchoku pretty much
amazing.
decided. Depending on what he gets here, man,
Riji, Pinfu, Sanshoku, Tanyao.
yeah.
Crazy.
The moment the Pinzu are not definitely Sanchoku. Opine would be ideal. Onpine wouldn't be the worst. Upine would work. Right?
We'll take it. We'll take it. 369.
6-9,
3-6.
and obviously the 3-6 are the ones you're really hoping for. Harrison starting off pretty early in his last turn as dealer with a possible monster. No
It
Ipatsu
looks to
anymore.
me like Ricky is going for some kind of Chanta hand with this early 7-8-9 call, as
That's a
well
good
as his
point.
current shapes.
Gonna have to throw a pretty dangerous 4 of cracks there. Needs an Atama. All right, who gets
Discards
rid
the
of it
4
earlier,
crack.
early. He is gonna throw 3 or 6 pots. Oh, or 9.
Oh,
Well,
that
this is one of those weird situations where you throw into somebody's hand and, well, all right, so he did get the Urda, so that is more points. But, I mean, was the cheaper version, and like you almost feel like, I wonder if I dodged a bullet by throwing the cheapest hand.
I
It did
think
end up getting Dora.
definitely.
But now look at this hand again. I mean, got 2 Dora. He's completed a group. Well, actually, that is pretty much all that's in his hands at the moment.
That's it.
But 2 Dora, the 2 Dora is a good, you're immediately motivated to try to make the hand work.
We have lots of shapes over with Wenshin, but a lot of hard to fill shapes. We have a 1-3 Kanchan, a 1-2 Penchan, and a 3-5 Kanchan. So
done.
he has a lot of available options for upgrades, but very hard to fill his current shapes. But Harrison just drew a very
Yeah,
nice tile.
right? Drew the gut shot. And, well, not an absolute gut shot, but yes, it does create the nice shape there for lots of possible extensions. All right, here we are, Yishanten.
Shinlong
pushed.
goes up the 6-0. So that kind of confirms that shape. Takes the 3-5 Kanchan and now is also Ishan 10, looking for some kind of extender on the 5-pin or 5-mon.
That does give him Tempai, Luan, and Papin double.
And Ricky cons the 2-so, flips 4-pin as new Dora indicator. So Harrison now has another Dora in his hand, and Wenshin now has 2 Dora in his hand.
And Harrison, so I like this play. Like he gets the better shape in the Manzu. He can now pawn Dora. Or Wenchen, it just goes on the attack.
Richi Pinfu Dora 1, or sorry, Richi Pinfu Dora 2. This would put him into second place if he gets it. Oh, and there is the 8-4. Unluck for Shinlong, and Wenshin is very sad right now.
Yes. Wow, the sneaky win by Shinlong, trying to change his name.
To luck. Just to luck.
Just luck. Non-unluck.
Yeah, it is now Shinlong's dealership. It is South 4, and he just needs 56,000 points.
5,600 points.
Sorry, 5,600 points to get over 30K. And with this high pie, I think it is doable.
It's not impossible. Yeah, he's got some good shapes there. Now he's 1 over, but that's Dora, so you definitely want to use that. Drops from the young men in the Manzu there.
So which block would you cut here, Garth? Would you
So for
cut?
me, this is an interesting situation, and I would have just gotten it wrong. Because in this
Oh, interesting.
situation, so like you've got the 2-3-3 Manzu there, and my philosophy there is that okay, I want to have as many possibilities as possible. I'm going to keep the 2-3-3, which could possibly become a pair. I'm going to throw from one of my pairs, like either the E peen or the Q peen. And I don't know, I might have thrown the Q peen there, but it's whatever I would have thrown there. My philosophy, my theory would have been wrong, right? And so it was funny to see that philosophy immediately disproven. But that's my thinking in that situation.
Totally
I'm always
makes
annoyed.
sense because you have a lot of
So
pairs and you have an extra shape.
Each.
Oh, but that's
now,
Tenpai.
and now he's sort of hidden his Isuan, his 1-4 weight, nicely by having thrown the 3-1 as early as he did. Then from that, he's thrown the 5-6 Pinzu. I mean, it's beautifully hidden. If somebody hadn't reached as quickly, oh, but it's an E1. So anybody getting E1 now is going to throw that, because they think it's going to be safe. It was certainly a nice play, but he's run up against Chen, having gotten to Tenpai also very quickly.
It's a 6-so Hatsu weight, whereas 2 of the E1s are already out. One of the 4s is seen in Ricky's hand. So there are still many available. I think 5 available. There's 1 6-so in Ricky's hand, so there's 3 available for Wenjin. So it is 5 against 3 at the moment, at least in the wall. There's 1 E1.
There's a good chance this comes out.
Dong.
Yeah. That 3-1, so that paid off. I mean, and that's of course the reason that you end up playing the way he did there. Well, one of the reasons you would, because throwing that sum on there early makes it really hides the fact that that's what you're waiting for later.
Harrison has always been very good at disguising his weights because he does think about endgame play quite a bit. That is something that I think he's very good at how
I
he
think
plays.
this is actually Shin Long's dealer, though, right?
Sorry, Shinlong's. Yes, that exactly is what I meant.
So yeah, so Harrison fell into, if you're saying that, then Harrison fell into his own trap. Hey, but yeah, that's like when you throw that sum on there, that's pretty much I think what you're aiming for is, you're trying to hide the fact that later when you're waiting for that. Does Shinlong change to the the Kanchan weight here, or does he hope for Dora? Nope, not yet.
Yeah,
Reason not
it's a
to
very
commit.
interesting weight.
Which one?
Well, this would be very interesting weight if he ends up doing pay for Mont Shabo, because pay would probably come out very easily here.
Quite possibly, yes. Although Dora is Ryan 1, there's a good chance he might, and especially now that he's gotten rid of Iso, there's a lot of chance that he could switch to Tan Yao depending on what he draws. I wouldn't even be surprised if he drew like Upawan. There's a good chance he might not take Tenpai. Or actually, if he drew Uwan, he would almost certainly Tenpai, but the Shabo, but wait for something better in the Manzu to change his weight.
Fair. He's already accomplished his goal of getting over 30k. Now he just can't have anyone sumo on him at the moment.
Yeah.
But he has accomplished getting over 30k.
But like you point out, yeah,
also
he's
very close to Tenpai. 2 Shanten, it looks like.
all right. So now he's back to the Tan Yao. I think he probably takes this, and if he gets a chance to Chi So, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes that to just try to seal the larger possibility of him continuing his dealer.
Agreed.
What have we got? What else have we got going on here? We've got Harrison just looking for a cheapie, try to end the game.
Does end up drawing Dora.
Oh,
which
wow.
is slightly a backfire now that he has
Right.
discarded his 2 pays.
Having gotten rid of that as a Tama. But you could still improve.
definitely. Could also draw another 6-0 or 8-0.
So or 8-so, or another Summon or Ryuan or Sanmon. All work.
Not a 9-mon, unfortunately.
one of the crappy mons. Not helping. Do think if he gets to Tenpai, whatever Tenpai, he probably takes it. Throwing Dora.
Ricky is Ishanten right now, waiting on 2-5-so or 6-9 pin, and then Harrison also Tenpai on the 2-3-so Shavo. Oh, there
There's
is
the
the
Dora.
other Dora.
We are nearing the end of the hand here. He needs help to get to Tenpai. Oh, there it is. All right,
There
that
it
was
is.
huge.
5-8 mon.
Chen, just looking for Tenpai here, I guess, to he's thinking hopefully get above
30K, but Ricky deals into Shinlong for the 8 mon for that
I think what
12,000
Chen was
points.
hoping was just to be Tenpai while Ricky was not Tenpai and get himself into third place. But he's pulled the sneaky maneuver of getting into third place by letting Ricky throw
Ricky deal
Mongon.
in.
No, that's also got to be frustrating for Ricky too, because it's not like he didn't throw the Dora to Shinlong, but then he ends up paying the price for it. And Shinlong
It's
has
like when you con someone, like when you on-con something and you con someone else like 3 Dora, you're like, oh, now I have to take responsibility for this.
yes. Yes, and then you just dig a bigger awful hole for yourself.
Ooh,
But
very nice dragon pair for Wenchin.
yes, once again, his hand is improving. Although the 2 Dora Haku are over in Wenchen's hand. If Shinlong does get to Tenpai, it's very likely that he's going to be giving Wenchen his Haku. When does he choose to let go of it? It's 3, 4, 5, 6, and the Sozu is a good shape. Okay, so 6 pin, that's out there in the middle. So he's Tenpai. Oh. Pon, ouch! More
It gets pawn.
Oh my god.
Wenchin is now crying. Not really, but that is devastating for him.
Besides that, I mean, it's just awesome how Harrison has no idea how much he has just totally devastated Wenchen. And then he goes on over to Jinlong's hand. Oh,
and that was the last 5 mon actually in the deck in the
Haku
wall.
comes
So
don't think Haku's
it
going
won't
to
come out of Ricky's hand.
Yeah. The only change I think that could happen here is maybe something like that. Okay, there you go. See. So yeah, what is Ricky waiting on? He's waiting on
Ricky's waiting on 6. Oh no, it is. I thought
6.
it was 6-9.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's
You're right.
just
6-9.
6. No, it's just 6.
Or,
It's then why did he not take? Oh, he needs Tsumo. So he didn't take the 9-so from Shinlong because he either needs the points Tsumo or he wants to Ipeko.
So little does he know
Because he wants to overtake Wenchin.
He is dreaming the dream, but yes, this dream only ends in a nightmare.
Because the 9-so, unfortunately, doesn't give him Ipeko or give him Tanyao. So he would be losing 2 Han by accepting that.
And all of the Rosos, all of the 6-sos are out. So
correct.
Unless somebody threw it, which is really probably not possible. I think at this point you have both Yinlong and Harrison just giving up. So that's no. And actually, yeah, he's free 10, so yeah, it doesn't make any difference anyway. So
Very
yeah,
interesting that Harrison cut the 6-pin instead of the 9-so because the 9-so was safe. But he cuts it now anyway.
think
And now people are thinking, what is he waiting on?
can't imagine
質問
any scenario. Oh, he does take that. So, okay.
Hitsumo's the very last 9-so says, I guess I give up my Ipeko and my
Does get
Tanyo.
an Uradora, and so he regains a few points. We're not at the end of the season, so it's not like a season ending, guaranteeing last place. And I think in league play, that makes sense. When you got to take points when you can get them, and those are the points he could get right there.
And Ricky also is not in any danger of demoting. He's currently in 6th place. Harrison took a commanding 1st place, lost a little bit at the end, but 48,000 is very respectable, pushes himself to the top of the A2 leaderboard at 92. Shinlong couldn't quite get out of demotion zone, but did get some positive points at the end. And then Wenchin is just bouncing between the middle of the league at the moment.
Shinlong did improve a spot there, at least managed to move up to 18th from 19th.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he was in 19th before that. Well, let's see,
think
what's
it-
the points?
Well, no, it would be 117 or 116.8. So he would still have been in 18th,
Okay.
but just barely.
Right, he was just there. Right. So yeah, but boy, big win for Harrison to take first place in A2. But like we were saying before, the standings are still pretty flat. Claire and even perhaps Haas, but definitely Claire and all the players from her up have a shot at making it into the moving up zone with 8 more games to go. Or no, we're half of the season. That's right. We play 6 sessions here, right?
Yes, 6
Like
sessions.
JPML. So yeah, half the season to go. And I'd say you have a good 3/4 of A2 still in the running for a possible move into A1. Exciting days in A2.
Absolutely. I have to head out, but thank you so much, Garth, for
I had a great
co-commentating
time
with
too.
me. It was
Yes,
a lot
thank
of
you.
fun.
Thank you for
And
letting me
thank you,
talk over you
Nathaniel.
sometimes.
No, it's okay. It's what happens when you're talking online. You can't see each other. You don't know what's going on. And
Yeah,
it's also the first time that we've commentated together. So
I am still so new at this. So thanks so much for the chance to practice the art, and thanks everybody for listening.
yes. And thank you all for watching.
Need to take a little break.
Yeah. Wrap things up really quickly. Thanks again
Okay.
to Garth and Isabella and Jen earlier today also for the commentary. Once again, if you want to hear more from Garth and Jen, check out their Prost video on YouTube at Mahjong Jen on YouTube. You can catch Emliger Sasuke Pro commentate on and give his thoughts on one of the Armel broadcasters games, and you can check that out there. You can also check out the Roddle stream this coming Sunday early in the morning. I think it's 5:30 in the morning Pacific time. To check that out on the WRC channel. Should be a good time. Also, we've
Should be
got
going for several hours. I think Jen said 7 games.
7 games will
So
be a long time.
even if you can't wake up at 5:30 in the morning, there will still be games going on by say 8 o'clock. So yes, we'll be doing that. Thanks for the plugs.
Absolutely. And for those of you who want to check out the American Ricci Mahjong League, this is the website, americanricci.org. You can check out at American Ricci on Twitter and YouTube as well to check out the highlights from the season. Also, all the broadcasts from the season. So you can rewatch that, this and all of our future broadcasts later on the YouTube channel. Once again, thanks to everybody for tuning in, and hope to see you in our next broadcast. Have a good one.